Imagine you're navigating through a dense jungle. The path ahead is uncertain and every twist brings a new challenge. But you have a guide, a compass that adapts to every terrain and helps you find your way no matter what. That's what flexibility in AI feels like, and today we're going to explore how you can harness it to stay ahead in an ever-changing world. Hey there, I'm Mirko, the founder of Data and Analytics, and your guide on this journey into the future of AI, embracing flexibility and adaptability. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the pace of technological change, you're not alone. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why adaptability is essential, but you'll also have practical tools to apply it in your business and life. Why should you watch till the end? Because we're about to uncover stories of triumph, pitfalls of rigidity, and insider tips from my own career on how adaptability has been the secret sauce for success. Trust me, these lessons will transform how you think about AI and the future of work. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of data enthusiasts. Like this video if you're excited to learn, and drop a comment to let me know your biggest AI challenge right now. Let's solve it together. All right, buckle up, because what we're about to explore isn't just about AI. It's about resilience, growth, and the power of embracing change. Let's jump in. A business navigating today's fast-paced world is like a river flowing through unpredictable terrain. Some parts are smooth and easy, while others are filled with obstacles, rocks, sudden turns, and unexpected drops. To keep flowing, the river doesn't stop or fight against the obstacles. It finds new pathways, reshaping itself as needed to reach its destination. This is the essence of AI flexibility, the ability to adjust, adapt, and thrive in an environment where change is constant. AI flexibility allows systems to shift gears effortlessly, adjusting to new demands, evolving environments, and unexpected challenges. It's not just a technical concept, it's about survival. Without this adaptability, organizations face stagnation. They miss opportunities to innovate, fail to meet evolving customer needs, and watch as competitors pull ahead. Think about a company stuck in rigid methodologies, like one that clings to old-fashioned processes despite clear signs the market is moving in a different direction. Employees lose motivation as their creativity is stifled, new ideas are dismissed, and the organization starts to fall behind. Over time, their customers begin seeking more dynamic, innovative competitors. The business becomes irrelevant, not because it lacked potential, but because it lacked the flexibility to evolve. Now contrast that with organizations that prioritize adaptability. These are the ones that welcome experimentation, encourage their teams to take calculated risks, and use AI not just to respond to change, but to anticipate it. When shifts happen, whether in market demands, technology trends, or customer expectations, they're ready. They pivot quickly, not just surviving the storm, but emerging stronger and more competitive on the other side. Flexibility transforms challenges into opportunities. It enables businesses to stay resilient and proactive, giving them the power to innovate continuously without being bogged down by rigid processes. By fostering adaptability through smarter tools, agile strategies, and a culture that rewards creativity, companies unlock their true potential. They move with the flow of change rather than resisting it, opening doors to innovation, growth, and long-term success. In a world where the pace of change is only accelerating, AI flexibility isn't just an advantage. It's the foundation of future success. The ability to adapt quickly and efficiently to the unknown will separate the leaders from the laggards, allowing businesses to stay competitive, relevant, and ready for whatever comes next. Let's take a closer look at what AI flexibility really means. Imagine you're managing a team in the middle of a rapidly changing project. Deadlines shift, customer requirements evolve, and new competitors emerge. To succeed, you can't stick to the original plan. You need to adjust, recalibrate, and adapt to the new landscape. This is what AI flexibility does, but on a much larger and more powerful scale. At its core, AI flexibility is the ability for systems to adapt to changing environments, needs, and demands. It's not just about responding to challenges, it's about doing so seamlessly and in real time. In a fast-paced technological landscape, this capability allows organizations to pivot strategies, accommodate new opportunities, and stay ahead of the curve. Flexibility is essential because it unlocks agility, something every business needs to stay relevant. Think about companies that thrived during unpredictable global events. They didn't succeed by luck, they adapted. They changed their strategies, reconfigured their tools, and empowered their teams to meet the moment. That's the power of flexibility, and AI is a key enabler in making it happen. But let's go further. Why does this matter so much? Without flexibility, organizations become rigid, locked into outdated methods and unable to evolve. Imagine trying to steer a ship through stormy waters, but being unable to change course. The result is missed opportunities, stagnation, and frustration at every level of the organization. Employees feel trapped in a system that doesn't allow for innovation, and customers begin looking elsewhere for solutions that better meet their needs. Now consider the flip side. Companies that embrace flexibility. They're the ones that can pivot quickly in response to market demands, launching new products ahead of the competition, and seizing opportunities that others miss. They empower their teams to experiment, learn, and innovate without fear of failure. These organizations don't just survive change, they thrive because of it. Examples of adaptable AI systems bring this concept to life. Think of a tech giant partnering with a smaller AI company to create an innovative data management platform. By combining their strengths, they built a system that could adjust to user needs in real time, delivering unmatched value to their customers. On the other hand, failures remind us why flexibility is crucial. Consider a facial recognition system that faced backlash for its inaccuracies. Inflexible approaches to its design and training led to failure, reputational damage, and missed opportunities to improve. This brings us to an important realization. AI flexibility isn't just about technology. It's about creating systems that empower organizations to remain competitive, innovative, and ready for anything the future throws their way. It's about staying relevant in a world where change is the only constant. Let's step into a scenario. Imagine an innovative idea brewing in your company. An employee has a vision for a product that could revolutionize your market, but as they present the concept, they hit a wall. "We've never done it this way before," says the leadership. "It doesn't fit into our current process." And just like that, a spark of innovation is snuffed out. That's what rigid methodologies do. They block progress, stifle creativity, and hold companies hostage to outdated approaches. Rigid systems are like chains that keep an organization tied to the past, preventing it from moving forward. They make it impossible to adapt to new challenges or opportunities. The result? Stifled innovation. Teams don't feel empowered to experiment or suggest bold ideas. Instead of exploring new solutions, they focus on avoiding risks and sticking to the status quo. This rigidity doesn't just impact innovation, it leads to missed opportunities. Picture a company clinging to its traditional methods while competitors race ahead, embracing new trends and technologies. By the time the rigid company realizes the market has shifted, it's too late. The opportunity is gone, and they've lost ground to more agile rivals. But the consequences go even deeper. Employees working in rigid environments often feel disengaged and frustrated. Imagine being part of a team where every new idea is met with resistance or bureaucracy. Over time, morale plummets, productivity drops, and talented individuals start looking for opportunities elsewhere. Rigid methodologies don't just stifle innovation, they drain the lifeblood of an organization. It's people. And let's not forget the ultimate risk: stagnation. Organizations that refuse to adapt risk becoming irrelevant. Think of once dominant companies that failed to transition into the digital age. They relied on rigid strategies that worked in the past, ignoring the warning signs that the world was moving on. Eventually, they were left behind, overtaken by competitors who embraced change and innovation. But here's the harshest truth. Rigid methodologies make organizations vulnerable in times of crisis. When faced with unexpected challenges, they can't pivot quickly enough to respond effectively. It's like trying to steer a massive ship that refuses to turn. By the time you adjust, you're already heading for the rocks. The takeaway here is clear. Rigidity isn't just a barrier to success, it's a recipe for failure. To thrive in today's fast-paced world, organizations must break free from these outdated methods and embrace adaptability. By fostering a culture that welcomes change and empowers teams to innovate, businesses can not only avoid the pitfalls of rigidity, but position themselves as leaders in their industries. Let me take you into two boardrooms I've been in during my time as a consultant at Data and Analytics. Both had big ambitions, incredible potential, and solid foundations. But what separated them was their ability or inability to adapt when it mattered most. First, let's talk about a retail giant. They were clinging to their brick-and-mortar dominance while the world shifted online. The warning signs were everywhere. Competitors were ramping up their e-commerce capabilities, customers were demanding more convenience, and market data was screaming, pivot or perish. Yet, every time we proposed investing in digital transformation, the leadership pushed back. They were stuck in their comfort zone, convinced their traditional approach would hold strong. By the time they finally acted, it was too late. They'd lost significant market share to competitors who had embraced the e-commerce wave early. Sitting in those meetings, I could see the frustration on the faces of employees. They knew the future was digital, they were eager to innovate, but their ideas were drowned out by a rigid system that refused to let go of the past. The result? Not just a drop in revenue, but also disengaged teams, missed opportunities, and a reputation that went from industry leader to laggard in just a few years. Now, let's flip the script to another project, a tech company that faced a moment of truth. Their smartphone division was struggling. While competitors were experimenting with bold new features and fresh designs, this company stuck to their tried and true formula. At first, they were reluctant to change, but when we showed them the data, shifting consumer preferences, declining sales trends, and clear signals from the market, they made a bold decision to adapt. Together, we overhauled their strategy, focusing on modular design and innovative marketing approaches that aligned with customer demand. What happened next? Not only did they regain lost ground, but they also uncovered opportunities they hadn't even considered before. The shift wasn't easy. It required challenging old assumptions and investing in new tools and talent, but it paid off. Their adaptability became their biggest strength, setting them up for long-term success. These two stories underscore a critical truth I've seen again and again. Flexibility isn't optional, it's survival. Whether it's an industry-leading retailer losing their footing or a tech company clawing back market share, the difference between success and failure often comes down to one question. Can you adapt when the world demands it? At Data and Analytics, we've helped businesses navigate these forks in the road, showing them how to embrace adaptability as a core strength. And the lesson is always the same. The companies that thrive are the ones that don't wait for change to force their hand. They lead the charge themselves. Flexibility doesn't happen by accident. It starts with the right questions. How do you uncover the areas where your organization needs to adapt? Where are the cracks in your processes, the missed opportunities, or the outdated tools holding you back? In this slide, we're diving into the key questions you need to ask yourself to begin building flexibility into the DNA of your organization. These aren't just hypothetical questions. They're practical starting points to evaluate your workflows, empower your teams, and align your tools with the future. So, let's break it down. What do you need to change to transform your organization into one that thrives in a world of constant change? Here's the first question. What in our current workflow feels like it's carved in stone? Every organization has those rigid processes, the ones that people follow because that's the way it's always been done. Ask yourself, do these processes serve us or are they slowing us down? For example, when was the last time your team took a hard look at how decisions are made or how tasks flow from one department to another? If the answer is I don't remember, it's time to assess and pinpoint the bottlenecks. Now, here's a bigger challenge. Are we creating a safe space for experimentation? Too often, teams are afraid to try new things because the cost of failure feels too high. But let me ask you this. How many of the world's greatest innovations came without risk? None. The key is fostering a culture where employees feel safe to test ideas, make mistakes, and learn from them. Are you encouraging your team to innovate, or are they playing it safe because they fear repercussions? Another critical question. Are we equipping our people to handle change? Technology evolves quickly, but people need time and resources to catch up. If you're introducing AI tools or new processes, have you set aside time for workshops, mentorships, or ongoing training programs? Imagine expecting your team to embrace cutting-edge AI tools, but not giving them the training to use them effectively. Would you feel confident in their ability to succeed? Probably not. Training isn't optional, it's the backbone of adaptability. And finally, ask yourself, are our tools designed to grow with us? Think of your tools as building blocks. They should fit together easily and adjust as your needs change. Are you stuck with rigid, one-size-fits-all systems, or are you leveraging platforms that offer scalability and modularity? The right tools don't just meet your current needs, they give you the flexibility to pivot when tomorrow's challenges arise. Are your systems helping you or holding you back? So here's the ultimate question. Are you willing to challenge the status quo to build a truly flexible organization? Flexibility isn't just about technology. It's about mindset, culture, and leadership. Start by asking these questions and answering them honestly. The future doesn't wait for rigid organizations to catch up. It rewards the ones that are ready to adapt. All right, let's switch gears and imagine you're the captain of a ship in the middle of a storm. The waves are relentless, the wind keeps shifting, and your destination seems further away with every passing second. Now, do you want a ship that's rigid and unresponsive, or one that can adapt on the fly, adjusting its sails to harness the wind and find a new, faster route? That's exactly what adaptable strategies do for your organization. They help you navigate the unpredictable with confidence. But let's get specific. What's the real payoff of being adaptable? Here are 3 game-changing benefits that make flexibility not just a smart choice, but a survival strategy. First, responsiveness. Think about how quickly markets shift these days. Customer preferences evolve overnight, and new technologies disrupt entire industries. Organizations with adaptable strategies can respond faster than their competitors. It's the difference between riding the wave of a trend and watching it pass you by. Ask yourself, are you the company that pivots and launches a new product ahead of the curve, or the one still debating last year's strategy? Next, let's talk about innovation. The best ideas come from environments where people feel empowered to think differently and experiment. Adaptable strategies create that freedom. They give teams the confidence to explore new approaches, take calculated risks, and embrace bold ideas. Picture your organization launching a groundbreaking product or service, not because you're chasing trends, but because you've built a culture where creativity thrives. Are you creating that kind of space for your team? Finally, adaptable strategies allow you to manage resources more effectively. When you can adjust to market demands or internal shifts, you avoid waste, time, money, and energy are all optimized. It's like packing light for a trip. Instead of carrying everything just in case, you bring what you need and adjust as you go. This kind of efficiency doesn't just save costs, it gives you the flexibility to reinvest in areas that truly matter. Adaptable strategies aren't just about keeping up, they're about leading the way. They make your organization agile, innovative, and ready for anything the future throws your way. So here's a question for you. How adaptable is your current strategy? Are you navigating the waves with precision or letting the storm dictate your course? The choice is yours, but I think we both know which path leads to success. Let's play a quick game. Imagine your business is a professional basketball team. You're in the middle of a high-stakes game, and your current strategy isn't working. The other team has adapted to your plays and you're falling behind. What do you do? Do you stick to the same plan, hoping it magically works? Or do you call a timeout, assess the situation, and pivot your strategy? Great teams and great organizations know exactly when to pivot, and that's what separates winners from everyone else. In today's world, knowing when to pivot isn't just a skill, it's an art. But here's the good news. It's an art you can master by asking the right questions and paying attention to the signs. Let's break it down into the key signals that tell you it's time to change direction. First up, customer behavior. Have you noticed changes in what your customers are asking for or how they're engaging with your products or services? This isn't just noise, it's a flashing neon sign that says, adapt or get left behind. Companies that ignore customer feedback often find themselves losing market share to competitors who listened. Are you tuned into these signals, or are they slipping by unnoticed? Next, numbers don't lie. Are your KPIs showing downward trends? Whether it's sales, engagement, or productivity, consistent declines are the universe's way of telling you something isn't working. The question is, do you recognize these red flags and act, or do you wait until it's too late to recover? Then there's the constant evolution of technology. Are you keeping an eye on the tools and platforms that could transform your industry? Organizations that embrace new technologies early on often gain a significant advantage. So ask yourself, is your current strategy ready to incorporate the latest advancements? Or will you be scrambling to catch up later? And don't forget your competition. If your rivals are adopting new strategies, launching innovative products, or gaining traction in areas where you're stagnant, it's time to rethink your approach. Are you actively analyzing the competitive landscape, or are you stuck in the rearview mirror while they race ahead? Finally, look inside your organization. Are your teams flagging inefficiencies or frustrations with current systems? Often, the people on the ground have the clearest view of what's holding you back. Are you fostering open communication and acting on these insights, or are you brushing them off as minor complaints? The ability to pivot is what keeps organizations agile, innovative, and ahead of the curve. But it's not just about reacting. It's about spotting the signs before they become crises. So here's the million-dollar question. What signals are you seeing right now in your business? And are you ready to pivot before it's too late? Let's dive into the world of generative AI, a groundbreaking technology that's transforming how we think about creativity, productivity, and innovation. Imagine having a colleague who's not just skilled, but endlessly creative, able to brainstorm new ideas, design intricate visuals, write compelling text, or even compose music. Generative AI is that colleague, but instead of taking coffee breaks, it's working tirelessly to bring your concepts to life. What sets generative AI apart? Traditional AI focuses on analyzing existing data, spotting patterns, making predictions, or classifying information. It's like a detective solving a mystery by piecing together clues. Generative AI, on the other hand, is a creator. It doesn't just process what already exists, it generates entirely new outputs. Think of it as moving from being a camera capturing reality to being an artist envisioning the future. The shift is massive, and its potential is equally exciting. Consider what this means in real-world applications. A marketing team can use generative AI to produce engaging ad campaigns tailored to specific audiences, cutting weeks of work down to hours. Designers can rapidly explore dozens, if not hundreds, of variations for a product concept, all without lifting a pen or clicking a mouse. Even complex industries like healthcare and education are seeing its impact, with generative AI helping to create new drug formulations or personalized learning materials. But it's not just about speed. Generative AI opens the door to ideas we may never have considered. In industries where creativity is the currency, this technology is like having a brainstorming partner who's fearless, unafraid to suggest the bold, the unconventional, or even the impossible. It pushes boundaries and sparks innovation in ways that make us rethink what's achievable. Here's an example. Imagine an architect designing a sustainable city. With generative AI, they can model various layouts, explore energy efficient designs, and create visually stunning simulations, all in record time. Or think about a filmmaker who can use generative AI to storyboard an entire movie, crafting scenes and characters with just a few prompts. The possibilities are limitless. Of course, as powerful as generative AI is, it comes with responsibility. Ethical considerations are key. How do we ensure that what it creates aligns with our values, remains unbiased, and meets the needs of our customers? These aren't just philosophical questions, they're essential for using this technology effectively and responsibly. Generative AI isn't just another tool in the AI toolbox. It's a revolution in how we approach problems, creativity, and collaboration. It's not about replacing human ingenuity, it's about amplifying it, giving us the means to explore, innovate, and build like never before. The future of creativity is here, and generative AI is at the forefront of that transformation. Let's talk about what generative AI means for businesses, not just in theory, but in real measurable terms. Imagine running a company where creativity and efficiency are no longer at odds, where your team can innovate faster, execute better, and produce results that were once impossible. That's what generative AI brings to the table. It's not just a tool, it's a game changer for how businesses operate. One of the most immediate impacts is cost reduction. Generative AI can automate repetitive and time-intensive tasks, allowing teams to focus on high-value activities. Think about a marketing department that typically spends weeks drafting, revising, and finalizing ad campaigns. With generative AI, they can generate dozens of ad variations in minutes, test them instantly, and fine-tune the best performing ones, all at a fraction of the time and cost. But generative AI doesn't stop at efficiency. It's a powerhouse for enhancing creativity. Businesses in design, entertainment, or product development can explore concepts they'd never have time to consider otherwise. Picture a product design team brainstorming ideas for the next big gadget. Generative AI can generate hundreds of design prototypes, complete with specifications, in a single afternoon. It's like having a room full of creative minds working 24/7, pushing boundaries and sparking new ideas. Then there's the impact on processes, streamlining them in ways that free up human potential. By handling the grunt work, generative AI lets teams focus on strategy, innovation, and building relationships. In customer service, for instance, AI can draft personalized responses for inquiries or even preemptively address concerns based on patterns it detects. Your team can then step in where a human touch is needed, creating a seamless blend of automation and personal connection. Now let's consider scalability. Generative AI empowers businesses to scale operations without the growing pains that typically come with it. Expanding into new markets, generative AI can help localize marketing content, adapt designs, and tailor product offerings, all without adding extra headcount. It's like having a growth engine built directly into your organization. Of course, we can't ignore the strategic edge this gives businesses. Companies that leverage generative AI early gain a significant advantage over competitors who are slower to adopt. It's the difference between being a market leader who shapes the industry and a follower who struggles to keep up. In a world where speed and innovation often determine success, generative AI levels the playing field, enabling even smaller players to make a big impact. But here's the real magic. Generative AI doesn't replace creativity, it enhances it. It's not about machines taking over. It's about humans and AI working together to create something greater than either could achieve alone. Businesses that embrace this mindset unlock new possibilities and redefine what's achievable in their industries. So, what does this mean for you? It's time to ask, where can generative AI drive innovation, reduce costs, or streamline processes in your organization? The answers to these questions could be the key to your next big breakthrough. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. In the blue corner, we have the undisputed champion of predictive analytics, the legend of optimization, the old school powerhouse that's been delivering results for years. Traditional AI. It's the strategist, the number cruncher, the analytical genius that takes your historical data and turns it into actionable insights. It's sharp, calculated, and always precise. Whether it's forecasting trends, classifying data, or optimizing processes, traditional AI is the workhorse you can rely on when the stakes are high. But wait, what's this? In the red corner, making waves and breaking boundaries, it's the challenger, the creative prodigy, the one rewriting the rulebook, generative AI. This rising star doesn't just analyze data, it creates something new entirely. Original designs? Check. Compelling stories? Done. Game-changing ideas? You got it. Generative AI isn't just playing the game, it's inventing new ways to win. It's like having an artist, a visionary, and a relentless innovator all rolled into one. It's bold, it's dynamic, and it's transforming industries faster than ever. Now let's talk strategy. Traditional AI excels at playing defense, making sense of what you already know. It's like a coach watching game footage to predict your opponent's next move. It's perfect for analyzing past trends, classifying data into clear categories, and providing recommendations that are grounded in the facts. Think of it as a master chess player, meticulously planning every move to perfection. Need to optimize supply chains or forecast sales? Traditional AI's got your back. On the flip side, generative AI is all about offense. It's the wild card that pushes boundaries and takes risks, producing outcomes you never imagined. It doesn't wait for the past to dictate the future, it creates its own reality. Imagine your marketing team brainstorming ideas for a new campaign. Instead of spending weeks drafting and revising, generative AI produces dozens of unique concepts in mere minutes. It's the equivalent of a jazz musician improvising a breathtaking solo, turning raw creativity into tangible results. But here's the plot twist. This isn't a fight to the finish. Generative AI and traditional AI aren't competitors. They're the ultimate tag team. Together, they bring out the best in each other. Picture this. Traditional AI analyzes market trends, providing detailed insights into customer preferences. Then generative AI takes those insights and creates a personalized, visually stunning ad campaign that captivates your audience. It's like having a tactical genius and a creative visionary working in perfect harmony. Still not convinced? Let's look at the practical applications. A healthcare company might use traditional AI to predict patient outcomes based on historical data, but generative AI, it steps in to design new treatment plans or simulate how a medication might impact a specific demographic. In entertainment, traditional AI analyzes viewer behavior to recommend content. Generative AI, meanwhile, creates the next blockbuster script or even animates entire scenes. Together, they don't just meet expectations, they exceed them. And let's not forget scalability. Traditional AI ensures efficiency and stability, while generative AI drives innovation. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about knowing when to deploy each for maximum impact. The organizations that thrive in this new era will be the ones that can seamlessly blend both approaches, using each AI's strengths to tackle challenges from all angles. So, what's your strategy? Will you stick with the reliable veteran, embrace the bold newcomer, or harness the unparalleled power of both? One thing is certain: in this matchup, there's no loser, only businesses that rise to the top by leveraging the best of both worlds. Friends, colleagues, and lovers of innovation, we gather here today to say goodbye to an old friend, or rather, an old adversary: the misconceptions about generative AI. It's time to lay them to rest, for they have done their part, holding us back, sowing doubt, and casting shadows over what is now one of the brightest futures in technology. But as with all things, their time has come. Misconceptions: you were born from fear of the unknown and nurtured by skepticism. You told us that generative AI would replace human creativity, that it was an unstoppable force meant to render artists, writers, and designers obsolete. But as we reflect, we know now that you were wrong. Generative AI was never here to replace us. It's here to empower us, to amplify our creativity, to help us dream bigger than ever before. You fought hard to convince the world otherwise, but today your argument rests. You tried to convince us that generative AI was only for the tech elite. Leave it to the tech giants, you said. But misconceptions: we've seen generative AI break free from the tech sector, weaving itself into marketing agencies, healthcare innovations, and even product design teams. Your claim couldn't hold up to the sheer versatility and accessibility of this technology, and for that, we bid you farewell. And let us not forget the time you whispered in our ears that generative AI was just a fad, an overhyped trend that would fizzle out as quickly as it arrived. Oh, misconceptions, how wrong you were. As we've witnessed its growing impact across industries, from revolutionizing customer experiences to creating groundbreaking innovations, it's clear generative AI is no passing phase. You gave us doubt, but now we are left with undeniable progress. You even tried to simplify generative AI's power, calling it just another form of traditional AI. You ignored its creativity, dismissed its ability to produce entirely original content, and downplayed its transformational role in shaping the future. But today, we set the record straight. Generative AI is not a camera capturing what exists. It's a painter, an architect, a visionary creating what's never been seen before. And so, misconceptions about generative AI: your time has come. You held us back, yes. You slowed the tide of progress, yes. But in doing so, you forced us to fight for understanding, for clarity, for truth. And now, with you gone, the path forward is brighter. Generative AI can live free from your shadow, evolving and thriving as the tool it was always meant to be, not a threat, but a partner in creativity and innovation. Rest in peace, misconceptions. Your purpose has ended, and now the future of generative AI begins. All right, buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the most important decisions you'll ever make in your AI strategy. When do you unleash the power of generative AI, and when do you call in the heavy hitter, traditional AI? It's a big question, and by the end of this slide, you'll have the answers you need to make the right call every time. Picture this. You're the head of a creative team tasked with launching the next big marketing campaign. You've got tight deadlines, a demanding client, and zero room for error. You need original content fast. This is where generative AI steps into the ring and says, "Don't worry, I got this." Whether it's brainstorming headlines, creating visuals, or drafting content, generative AI is like having a genius copywriter and graphic designer working 24/7. If your goal is originality, boom, generative AI is your champion. But let's flip the scenario. What if your goal is to analyze customer behavior? You've got years of data, sales figures, demographics, patterns, and you need insights to predict future trends. Here's where traditional AI takes the spotlight. It's like a master detective poring over every detail, identifying patterns, and giving you clear, actionable predictions. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, it optimizes what you already have. Need forecasting or decision-making support? Traditional AI is your go-to. Now here's the fun part. Let's break this down step by step so you know exactly when to deploy each model and maximize your ROI. Ask yourself, is creativity the goal? Are you building something from scratch, like product designs, ad campaigns, or even generating new ideas for innovation? Generative AI thrives here. It's like having a brainstorming buddy who's not only creative, but insanely fast. One of my favorite examples, a product launch campaign we worked on at Data and Analytics. The team needed 10 different ad concepts in less than 48 hours. Enter generative AI, and guess what? It delivered 15. And they were so good, we couldn't decide which one to go with. But wait, what if you don't need creativity? What if you're swimming in spreadsheets and need clarity instead of chaos? That's where traditional AI steps up. Let's say you're running a retail business and need to forecast sales for next quarter. Do you use generative AI to imagine those numbers? Nope. You call on traditional AI to dive into your historical data, connect the dots, and give you predictions you can trust. It's like having a crystal ball that's powered by math instead of magic, practical, reliable, and a total lifesaver. Here's the golden rule. Always match your AI model to your business objectives. If your goal is innovation, creativity, or creating something new, generative AI is the answer. But if your goal is operational efficiency, decision-making, or predictions, stick with traditional AI. Think of it like choosing the right tool for the job. You wouldn't use a paintbrush to hammer a nail, right? Same with AI. Align your tool with your goals, and you'll hit the bullseye every time. Now here's where it gets exciting. You don't have to choose one over the other. In fact, the magic happens when you combine them. Imagine using traditional AI to analyze customer trends and figure out what your audience wants. Then you hand that data to generative AI and it creates a marketing campaign that speaks directly to those preferences. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Amazing on their own, unstoppable together. And the results? Businesses that know when to use generative AI versus traditional AI are crushing the competition. They're faster, more innovative, and laser-focused on results. So, the next time you're faced with a project, ask yourself these three questions. Do I need creativity or analysis? Am I working with raw data or creating something from scratch? And how can I align this with my business goals? The answers will point you to the right model every single time. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment below with a project you're working on and let's figure out together. Should you go with generative AI, traditional AI, or both? Don't forget to like this video if you found this helpful and hit that subscribe button for more insights like these. Let's keep building smarter, faster, and more creative solutions, one AI model at a time. When I was a kid, my dream was to be a scrap dealer. Yeah, you heard that right. A scrap dealer. While other kids were building tree houses or dreaming of being astronauts, I was thinking about digging through piles of junk to find hidden treasures. Fast forward to today, and you could say that dream almost came true. Why? Because let's be real, our world, and especially our businesses, generate a ton of waste. From inefficiencies to outdated processes to literal trash, it feels like we're constantly trying to sort through the garbage to find those rare pearls of value, and that's where generative AI comes in. You see, in the age of AI, we have this incredible opportunity to turn all that junk into something extraordinary. Generative AI isn't just about creating cool things, it's about doing it smartly and sustainably. It's like giving the world's most advanced recycling plant a mind of its own. And the best part? You don't have to get your hands dirty. Let's talk about the first big win, optimizing resources. Generative AI has this amazing ability to streamline processes, reduce waste, and even design products that require fewer materials. It's like having a genius engineer who looks at your operations and says, "Hey, why are you doing it the hard way?" For example, instead of manufacturing 10 prototypes and wasting materials, generative AI can simulate hundreds of virtual designs and tell you exactly which one will work best. That's not just efficiency, it's sustainability at its finest. And the kicker? It saves you money too. Who doesn't love saving a little green while going green? Now, let's address the elephant, or should I say the trash bin, in the room: environmental footprint considerations. As incredible as generative AI is, it doesn't come without challenges. Running advanced AI systems consumes energy, and we're not talking about the kind of energy your phone uses to scroll TikTok. We're talking serious data center level energy. That means organizations need to be thoughtful about how they deploy AI. Generative AI can help reduce waste in one area, but if we're not careful, it could leave a trail of carbon emissions in its wake. But here's the good news. Generative AI is also part of the solution. By automating repetitive tasks and designing smarter systems, it can help businesses focus on strategic initiatives that truly drive innovation while keeping their environmental impact in check. For example, AI can suggest ways to optimize your supply chain, reduce transportation emissions, or even tweak product designs to minimize resource consumption. It's like having a personal sustainability coach who also happens to be an AI genius. Now let's make this personal. Imagine you're running a company that produces consumer goods. Every step of your production process has an environmental impact. With generative AI, you can evaluate and redesign each step to make it more efficient. Need to reduce packaging waste? Generative AI can create designs that use less material without compromising functionality. Want to cut energy use in your production line? AI can identify where machines are running inefficiently and suggest fixes. It's like cleaning up your room, but on a massive industrial scale and without your mom yelling at you to do it. But, and this is a big but, sustainability isn't just about cutting waste or being efficient. It's about making a commitment. Organizations that adopt generative AI responsibly must monitor their systems continuously. It's not a set it and forget it kind of deal. You have to make sure the AI solutions you implement align with your sustainability goals. Think of it like running a compost bin. If you just toss in anything, you're not going to get good fertilizer. But with care and attention, you turn scraps into something that nourishes the future. So, what's the takeaway here? Generative AI gives us the tools to tackle sustainability challenges head on. It helps us optimize resources, cut down on waste, and build smarter systems that benefit both businesses and the planet. But it's not magic, it's a tool. And like any tool, its impact depends on how thoughtfully we use it. As I reflect on my childhood dream of becoming a scrap dealer, I realize something. We're all in the scrap business now, except instead of sorting through literal junkyards, we're cleaning up inefficiencies, redesigning processes, and building a world where technology and sustainability go hand in hand. The future isn't just about doing things better, it's about doing them smarter. And with generative AI, that's exactly what we're set up to do. Now, this is a big topic. At Data and Analytics, we've had the privilege of helping companies around the world navigate this very challenge. And trust me, it's not just a question of which tool to use, it's about building a rock-solid foundation for your entire AI strategy. And let's be real, when it comes to AI infrastructure, the heavyweights are in the ring. We're talking about the big three: Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. Each one has incredible strengths, and yeah, they also have their weaknesses. Microsoft has enterprise integration locked down. Amazon's AWS is a powerhouse of scalability and customization. And Google? It's leading the charge in cutting-edge AI and machine learning tools. Sounds like a dream lineup, right? But here's the thing. They're not one-size-fits-all solutions. Because let's not forget the other contenders in this discussion: on-premises infrastructure, cloud solutions, and hybrid models. These are the real players shaping your AI roadmap. So before we get completely lost in the cloud, literally, let's break it down. First up, we've got on-premises solutions. These are like the control freaks of the infrastructure world. Everything stays in-house, your data, your servers, your security. It's great if you're working with highly sensitive information or if you have strict compliance requirements. But here's the trade-off. On-premises solutions can be costly and, frankly, a little rigid. Scaling up, that's going to require significant investments in hardware and time. Still, for companies that prioritize security and control above all else, it's a rock-solid choice. Now, on the other side of the ring, we've got cloud solutions. These are the sprinters: quick, flexible, and ready to adapt at a moment's notice. Need to scale your resources up or down? No problem. Want to tap into cutting-edge AI capabilities? The cloud's got you covered. But here's the catch. You're handing over a lot of control. Your data is living on someone else's servers, which can raise privacy concerns. And let's not forget about those subscription fees. They might look small at first, but over time, they can add up faster than your streaming service subscriptions during a lazy weekend. Finally, let's talk about hybrid models, the middle ground that combines the best of both on-premises and cloud solutions. With a hybrid setup, you keep sensitive data in-house while leveraging the cloud for scalability and innovation. It's like having the security of a fortress with the flexibility of a tent. Sounds perfect, right? Well, almost. Hybrid models require careful planning to implement effectively, and the complexity of managing both systems can be a challenge. But for companies looking to strike a balance, it's often the best option. Here's the thing: there's no universal answer. The right infrastructure depends on your business needs, your goals, and, let's be honest, your budget. Are you prioritizing control and security? Lean toward on-premises? Need flexibility and scalability? The cloud is your friend. Want to combine the two? Hybrid is the way to go. The key is to evaluate your requirements and think long-term. What works for you today might not work 5 years from now, so adaptability is crucial. At data and analytics, we've seen it all. Companies who swear by on-prem, businesses thriving in the cloud, and organizations making hybrid models their secret sauce. The point is, this decision isn't just about technology, it's about strategy. So take a step back, ask yourself what your organization truly needs, and build from there. And hey, before we move on, let's open it up for some discussion. Where does your company stand? Are you team on-prem, team cloud, or team hybrid? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's figure it out together. Because when it comes to AI infrastructure, the sky, or should I say the cloud, is the limit. We're diving into a new kind of fight. But this isn't a fast-paced boxing match. No, this is more like a wisdom duel. The wise old master versus the young, dynamic up-and-comer. It's on-premise solutions, steeped in tradition and experience, facing off against cloud solutions, the flexible, fast-moving innovator. Both bring their own strengths, their own unique styles, and their own glaring weaknesses. So let's step into the arena and see how this matchup plays out. On-prem is the wise old master of infrastructure. It's steady, reliable, and grounded in decades of experience. This is the solution that says, I've seen it all, I know the risks, and I've built walls to protect against them. Everything stays in-house: your data, your hardware, your security. It's the fortress that businesses have relied on for years, and it's perfect for those who value control and privacy above all else. But here's the thing, wise as it may be, on-prem can also be a little slow. It's not great at adapting on the fly. Need to scale up quickly? Sorry, that's going to take some time and money. Want to tap into the latest AI tools? That's going to require a serious upgrade. The old master is strong, but it's also set in its ways. Enter the young, dynamic challenger. Cloud solutions are the definition of agility. Need more computing power? Done. Scaling down after a project wraps up? Easy. It's fast, it's flexible, and it's ready to go wherever you need it. This is the solution that says, why be tied down when you can be free? With its pay-as-you-go model and access to cutting-edge tools, the cloud is like a sprinter, built for speed and adaptability. But with all that youthful energy comes a lack of control. Your data lives on someone else's servers, which can feel a bit risky. And those subscription fees, they can add up, especially if you're not careful about managing resources. The young challenger is dynamic, yes, but it's not without its challenges. So, who's the victor in this duel of wisdom and agility? Here's the twist. It's not about picking one over the other. It's about understanding what your business needs. If security and control are your top priorities, the wise old master on-prem might be the better choice. But if flexibility, scalability, and access to cutting-edge technology are what you're after, then the young and dynamic cloud solution is your champion. And let's not forget, sometimes the best solution is a balance between the two. Hybrid models, which combine the control of on-prem with the flexibility of the cloud, offer the best of both worlds. It's like the wise old master mentoring the young challenger, creating a partnership that's stronger than either could be alone. At the end of the day, the decision is yours. Are you sticking with the wisdom and reliability of on-prem, embracing the speed and flexibility of the cloud, or finding harmony in a hybrid model? The choice you make will shape your AI strategy for years to come, so choose wisely. And hey, let us know where you stand in this duel. Team on-prem, team cloud, or team hybrid. Let's get the conversation started. Step into the kitchen with me because today we're cooking up something special. A fusion dish that brings together the best of two culinary worlds, on-premises and cloud solutions. Imagine you're the head chef of a high-end restaurant. You've got two incredible kitchens at your disposal. One is your tried and true on-premises setup, where everything is under your control. The other is a cloud kitchen, flexible, scalable, and ready to whip up dishes on demand. Now, what if I told you that by combining these two, you could create a fusion menu that's not just delicious, but also efficient and innovative? That's what hybrid models are all about. Picture your on-prem kitchen. It's like a Michelin-starred restaurant's main facility. Every ingredient is stored on site, every piece of equipment is yours, and every chef is part of your team. You control the quality, the process, and the security. Need to prepare a dish that requires secret ingredients or precise methods? On-prem is perfect for that. It's reliable, consistent, and ideal for those signature dishes that demand extra care. But here's the catch. When the orders start piling up, this kitchen can get overwhelmed. Scaling up means adding more ovens, hiring more chefs, and expanding the space, not exactly a quick fix. It's great for control, but flexibility, not so much. Now let's talk about your cloud kitchen. It's like a trendy pop-up kitchen that can go anywhere, serve any cuisine, and handle a rush of orders without breaking a sweat. Need more cooks? Done. Expanding your menu? Easy. The cloud kitchen is built for speed and adaptability, letting you experiment with new dishes and reach customers far and wide. It's the ultimate solution for testing out bold, innovative recipes without the overhead of a traditional setup. But there's a downside. When you're working in the cloud kitchen, you're relying on rented equipment and shared spaces. It's not entirely yours, and you might not have the same level of control over every ingredient or process. For some dishes, that's fine. For others, it's a risk. And now we bring it all together with the hybrid kitchen, a perfect fusion of on-prem and cloud. Imagine running your flagship kitchen for the signature dishes that require the utmost care and precision, while simultaneously leveraging the cloud kitchen to handle high-demand items or experimental dishes. Need to launch a new seasonal menu? Use the cloud kitchen to test it out. Got a recipe that's a closely guarded secret? Keep it in your on-prem kitchen. By combining the two, you get the best of both worlds, the control and security of on-prem with the flexibility and scalability of the cloud. It's like running a five-star restaurant with a pop-up division that can go global at a moment's notice. The hybrid model doesn't just meet your needs, it anticipates them, giving you the freedom to innovate while staying grounded in quality and reliability. So, what's on your menu? Are you going all in on a traditional setup, embracing the cloud for its adaptability, or crafting your very own fusion kitchen with a hybrid model? The choice is yours, and it all depends on the recipe you're trying to perfect. But one thing's for sure, the best dishes and the best AI infrastructures come from knowing how to combine ingredients thoughtfully. At Data and Analytics, we've seen this fusion approach work wonders for companies worldwide. So, what will you cook up with your hybrid model? Let's get to it. All right, let's set the Fusion Kitchen aside for now and get back to business. Choosing the right tools in AI isn't just a decision, it's a strategy, and it can make or break the success of your AI initiatives. So today, I'm going to walk you through my personal process, how I choose the perfect AI tools for the job, based on years of experience at data and analytics, helping businesses find their way in the vast, sometimes overwhelming AI landscape. AI tools are like puzzle pieces on their own. They might look impressive, but they need to fit together to create a clear picture. So, how do you make sure you're picking the right ones? Let me break it down for you. First things first, you need to know what you're trying to achieve. This is your starting point. Are you looking for tools to analyze data, automate processes, or develop predictive models? Every goal demands a different kind of tool, and if you're not clear on your objectives, you'll end up with a mismatched set of tools that don't deliver results. When I work with clients, this is always our first step, getting crystal clear on their business goals and desired outcomes. Only then can we start identifying the tools that align with their vision. Next up, it's all about compatibility. Think of your current infrastructure as a party, and the new AI tools are the guests you're inviting. Will they fit in? Do they play well with others? A cohesive ecosystem is crucial for smooth operations, so you need tools that integrate seamlessly with your existing systems. One time, a client of mine wanted to implement a state-of-the-art predictive analytics tool. It was great on paper, but it didn't integrate with their legacy systems, causing more problems than it solved. Lesson learned: evaluate the ecosystem first. The AI landscape is evolving at lightning speed, and it's easy to get left behind. That's why staying informed is non-negotiable. Read industry publications, attend webinars, and keep an eye on the latest advancements. This doesn't mean you need to chase every shiny new tool, but you do need to know what's out there so you can make informed decisions. For example, keeping up with generative AI breakthroughs has allowed me to help clients integrate these tools ahead of their competitors, giving them a serious edge. Let's talk about traps because they're everywhere in the AI world. One of the biggest mistakes I see: overemphasizing cost. Yes, budget is important, but going for the cheapest tool can cost you more in the long run if it doesn't deliver quality results. Another pitfall: getting caught up in the hype of the newest technology without considering if it's actually practical for your business. Choosing the right tools isn't just about what's popular, it's about what works for you. And finally, the most important step, making sure your AI tools align with your overall data strategy. The tools you choose should complement your business goals and drive measurable outcomes. For example, if your strategy is focused on improving customer insights, invest in tools that specialize in analyzing and visualizing customer data. This alignment ensures that every tool you bring on board contributes to your bigger picture, rather than just adding noise. At the end of the day, choosing the right tools in AI is about strategy, not luck. It's about knowing your needs, assessing compatibility, staying informed, avoiding traps, and aligning everything with your goals. It's a step-by-step process, but when done right, it sets you up for success. So, how do you choose your tools? Are you methodical, or do you go with your gut? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you approach this challenge. Take a deep breath and look ahead. We've covered tools, strategies, and use cases, but now it's time to ask the big question. What does the future of AI in business really look like? Is it going to be the jetpack we've always dreamed of, propelling us to incredible heights? Or could it become the slippery slope where companies lose control of innovation? Spoiler alert, it's all about how we harness its potential. First up, let's talk about the growing role of personalization. In the future, AI won't just be about automating processes or generating insights. It will be about creating deeply personalized experiences at scale. Imagine an online retailer that doesn't just recommend products but curates an entire shopping experience tailored to your preferences, browsing history, and even mood. We're already seeing glimpses of this with recommendation algorithms, but the future will take it to the next level. Companies that embrace this shift will stand out by making every interaction feel unique and meaningful. Next, the future isn't just about smarter AI. It's about better collaboration between humans and AI. Picture this. Instead of AI being seen as a replacement for human workers, it becomes an essential teammate. In industries like healthcare, we're already seeing AI assist doctors by analyzing patient data to suggest potential diagnoses or treatment plans, but it's not making the decisions, it's enhancing the doctor's ability to do so. The future of AI is collaborative, not competitive, and businesses that embrace this mindset will unlock new levels of productivity and innovation. The boardroom is going to get a lot smarter too. Decision makers won't just rely on gut feelings or historical data. They'll have AI models providing real-time insights, predicting outcomes, and even simulating the impact of different strategies. Imagine a CEO asking, "What happens if we expand into this new market?" and getting a fully modeled answer within minutes, complete with potential risks and rewards. This level of precision will make businesses faster, more agile, and better equipped to navigate uncertainty. Of course, we can't talk about the future without addressing the elephant in the room. Ethics. The more powerful AI becomes, the more important it is to ensure it's used responsibly. The future of AI in business will be shaped by companies that prioritize transparency, fairness, and accountability. From eliminating bias in algorithms to ensuring data privacy, ethical AI isn't just a buzzword. It's the foundation for trust, and trust is what keeps customers, employees, and stakeholders on your side. Then there's innovation. AI is going to become the ultimate R&D partner, helping companies design products faster, predict market trends more accurately, and even create entirely new industries. Imagine AI helping automotive companies develop cars that can repair themselves, or assisting biotech firms in discovering new life-saving drugs. The pace of innovation is going to accelerate, and businesses that integrate AI deeply into their creative processes will lead the charge. But let's not forget, this future isn't just for the big players. Small businesses will also benefit from AI's accessibility and scalability. Cloud-based AI tools are already leveling the playing field, allowing startups to compete with giants. In the future, this democratization of AI will enable even the smallest companies to leverage its power for marketing, customer engagement, and operations. The key takeaway: the future of AI in business isn't about who has the flashiest tools, it's about who uses them wisely. Companies need to build cultures of adaptability, foster ethical practices, and focus on creating value for their customers and communities. It's not just about deploying AI, it's about building an AI-first mindset where the technology complements human ingenuity rather than overshadowing it. So, where does this leave us? The future of AI in business is vast, exciting, and full of opportunities. It's going to challenge us to think bigger, act smarter, and innovate faster. But with great power comes great responsibility, and the businesses that succeed will be the ones that balance ambition with accountability. The question isn't whether AI will shape the future, it's how you'll use it to shape yours. As we stand on the cusp of this AI-driven revolution, one thing is clear: the journey is just beginning, and I, for one, can't wait to see where it takes us. Let me know your thoughts. What excites you most about the future of AI in business? Let's start the conversation. Get real for a second. Marketing and sales have never been easier, or at least that's what it looks like on the surface. These days, all you have to do is slap the word AI on a product, throw in a fancy pitch, and boom, you've got a manager's attention. It's like magic, right? Except there's one small problem. Behind the buzz, there's often no real strategy. And that's where things get messy. AI isn't a golden ticket, it's a tool. A powerful tool, sure, but one that needs a clear strategy behind it. Without a plan, you're just throwing AI at problems and hoping it sticks. That's like buying a shiny new sports car without knowing how to drive. It might look good in the parking lot, but it's not going to get you anywhere. So, what's the real story here? How can businesses go beyond the hype and use AI to truly transform their marketing and sales efforts? Let's dive in. The first big win for AI in marketing is understanding your customers on a whole new level. AI tools can analyze mountains of data, social media behavior, browsing patterns, purchase history, and turn it into actionable insights. Imagine knowing exactly what your customers want before they even do. It's like having a crystal ball, but instead of magic, it's powered by algorithms. For example, let's say you're running an e-commerce store. Instead of sending the same generic promotions to everyone, AI can segment your audience based on their preferences and buying behavior. Suddenly, your emails aren't just another spam message. They're personalized recommendations that feel tailor-made. And guess what? Personalized marketing isn't just a nice touch. It drives conversions and boosts loyalty. Next up, let's talk automation. With AI, you can streamline your entire sales funnel, from lead generation to closing deals. AI-powered chatbots can engage prospects 24/7, answering their questions and even guiding them through the buying process. Meanwhile, your sales team can focus on high-value tasks like building relationships and closing complex deals. It's like having a digital assistant that never sleeps and never misses an opportunity. But it's not just about chatbots. AI can also predict which leads are most likely to convert, helping your team prioritize their efforts. No more wasting time on cold leads or chasing dead ends. Instead, you're working smarter, not harder, and maximizing your chances of success. Let's not forget about content. AI is transforming the way businesses create and distribute marketing materials. Need a blog post, a product description, or an ad campaign? AI can generate it in minutes, saving you time and resources. But here's the kicker. AI doesn't just create content. It analyzes performance, learns what works, and keeps improving. It's like having a marketer who gets better with every campaign. But here's the trap. Relying on the AI label alone won't cut it. Just tagging AI onto your product or strategy isn't enough. Managers might be intrigued at first, but without real results, the buzz fades fast. The secret is in the execution, using AI strategically to solve specific problems and deliver measurable value. Without that foundation, all the cool tools in the world won't save you. So, how do you get it right? Start by identifying your goals. What are you trying to achieve? More leads, higher conversions, better customer retention. Once you're clear on your objectives, choose AI tools that align with those goals. And don't forget to measure your results. AI isn't a set it and forget it solution. It's a continuous process of learning, adapting, and optimizing. At Data and Analytics, we've seen businesses thrive when they take this approach. It's not about chasing trends. It's about using AI to amplify what already works and uncover new opportunities. That's the real magic, not the label, but the strategy. So, the next time someone tries to sell you an AI-powered solution, ask yourself, does it solve a real problem? Does it align with my goals? And most importantly, do I have a strategy to make it work? Because in marketing and sales, AI isn't the end game, it's the tool that gets you there. Let's move beyond the buzz and start building smarter, more strategic AI-driven solutions. All right, let me paint you a picture. Yes, you can call me Bob Ross of AI. Imagine you're on a deserted island. You've got a fishing rod, but no bait. Your buddy has a boat, but no paddle. And a third person has a map, but no clue how to read it. What do? You team up, of course. Together, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. That's exactly what strategic partnerships and innovation feel like. At Data and Analytics, we've had the privilege of helping companies build these kinds of powerhouse collaborations. Let me tell you, it's like watching superheroes team up. Each has their own unique power, but when they combine forces, magic happens. Here's why strategic partnerships are game changers. Big players, plus niche experts, plus there's unstoppable force. Big corporations are like the bulldozers of innovation. They've got resources, reach, and reputation. But they can be slow. Enter the niche experts, the nimble ninjas of the tech world. They bring specialized skills, fresh ideas, and speed. Together, they're a dream team. Think Iron Man and Spider Man teaming up. One's got the tech, the other's got the moves. Together, unstoppable. Trust, the secret sauce. Let's be real, partnerships can crumble if there's no trust. It's like trying to build a tower of cards on a shaky table, doomed from the start. But when there's transparency and open communication, that's when you get a rock solid foundation. Share the wins, learn from the losses, and keep moving forward together. Adaptability, the key to surviving the tech jungle. Innovation isn't a straight road. It's a roller coaster. Market shifts, tech advances, customer demands, they're all part of the ride. The best partnerships are flexible. They know when to pivot, when to double down, and when to try something new. It's all about playing the long game and staying ahead. Now, here's the million-dollar question for you. Are you building partnerships that amplify your strengths or just ones that check a box? Because the companies that truly thrive aren't just finding partners, they're building alliances, ones that transform entire industries. So let's talk. If you could partner with anyone, who would it be and why? Drop your dream team in the comments below and let's dream big together. Let us kick this off with some household names. Think of Microsoft, Amazon, Google, the titans of AI. They're like the Avengers of the tech world, equipped with incredible resources, cutting-edge infrastructure, and the ability to shape industries with a single innovation. But, spoiler alert, even superheroes need help sometimes. Take Microsoft's collaboration with OpenAI. Sure, Microsoft has Azure and a powerhouse reputation, but it's OpenAI, the nimble expert in generative AI, that brought ChatGPT into the world. Or look at Google's partnerships with smaller AI startups. Google's got the data and infrastructure, but it's these specialized players that bring unique algorithms and creativity to the table. And Amazon, it's not just about Alexa and AWS. They're constantly working with niche companies to refine their machine learning models and create hyper-specific tools for industries like logistics and healthcare. Here's the thing, no matter how powerful these giants are, they can't do it all. Big players are like a luxury cruise ship, massive, impressive, and able to cross oceans, but not exactly built for exploring hidden coves. That's where the speedboat comes in. Niche players are those agile speedboats, navigating uncharted waters and finding opportunities the big ships can't reach. These partnerships are how the cruise ship and speedboat work together to deliver the ultimate experience. The big players provide the foundation, the infrastructure, the market access, the heavy lifting. Meanwhile, the niche experts come in with specialized solutions, deep domain expertise, and the ability to innovate quickly. Together, they're unstoppable. All right, let's look at some examples of how the big players team up with niche experts to create magic. First up, Microsoft and OpenAI. Now, Microsoft is a powerhouse in cloud computing. They've got Azure, they've got Scale, but even they knew they couldn't crack generative AI alone. So they partnered with OpenAI, a smaller, hyper-focused team of AI experts. And what came out of that? ChatGPT, a tool that's not just changing how businesses operate, but also how all of us, consumers, creators, developers, interact with technology. It's proof that even giants like Microsoft sometimes need a little help from the experts. Next, let's talk about Amazon and logistics. We all know Amazon for delivering just about anything to our doorsteps at lightning speed. But here's the thing, they don't do it all by themselves. Sure, they have the massive infrastructure, but when it comes to super specific stuff like optimizing delivery routes or predicting package delays, they team up with smaller AI firms. These partnerships are what let Amazon tweak their systems to be faster, smarter, and sometimes so efficient that your package arrives before you've even hit confirm order. Okay? Maybe not quite, but you get the idea. And finally, there's Google and DeepMind. Google already has more data than most of us can comprehend, but data alone isn't enough. That's where DeepMind comes in. With its expertise in reinforcement learning, DeepMind helped Google create groundbreaking projects like AlphaGo, the AI that took down a world champion in Go, and even advanced healthcare tools that are saving lives. It's like Google provided the engine, and DeepMind was the genius engineer tuning it for performance no one thought was possible. See what's happening here? Even the biggest players with all their money and resources know they can't be masters of everything. By working with smaller, specialized teams, they're able to push the boundaries of what's possible. It's not just smart, it's essential in a world that's evolving this fast. How it works, you ask? Big players bring resources, scalability, and access to global markets. They are the workhorses laying the groundwork and providing the platform for innovation. Niche players bring creativity, agility, and domain-specific knowledge. They're the spark that transforms potential into reality. It's a win-win. Together, they create products and services that wouldn't exist if either tried to go it alone. It's like a duet. One provides the rhythm, the other brings the melody, and together they make magic. Building a successful partnership isn't as simple as saying, hey, let's team up. It requires careful alignment of strengths and goals. Both sides need to trust each other, maintain clear communication, and understand that compromise is part of the process. Think of it as a three-legged race. If you're not moving in sync, you're going to face plant. But if you find the rhythm, you'll cross the finish line faster than anyone else. So, whether you're a big player looking for a cutting-edge partner or a niche company looking for a platform to scale, remember this. Success isn't about going it alone. It's about finding your counterpart, combining strengths, and creating something extraordinary. After all, even the biggest tech giants know that sometimes the most valuable insights come from the little guy. Let's start with a quick scenario. Imagine you're building a dream team for the most ambitious project of your career. You've got three choices. Option one, a brilliant innovator who can revolutionize your strategy, but let's just say they're not the most predictable. Option two, a steady, reliable team player who works well with everyone, but doesn't exactly push boundaries. And option three, someone who's well-rounded, great at balancing risk and execution, but maybe not the absolute best in any one area. Who do you pick? It's tough, right? That's exactly what businesses face when navigating the world of AI partnerships. It's not about just picking the biggest name or the shiniest tool. It's about finding the right fit, someone who aligns with your goals, complements your strengths, and helps you build something you couldn't do alone. So, what actually makes a great partnership in AI? First, it's about combining strengths. Think of the big players, companies like Microsoft, Google, or Amazon. They're like the foundation of a skyscraper, strong, dependable, and scalable. Then you've got the niche players, the ones with that hyper-focused expertise. They're like the architects, adding creativity and precision to turn that solid foundation into something truly unique. When these two come together, that's where the magic happens. But it's not just about strengths, it's about alignment. If your goals aren't on the same page, even the best tech can't save you. Imagine two teams trying to build a boat. One wants a luxury yacht, and the other's designing a speedboat. If there's no shared vision, you're going to end up with a mess. Great partnerships work when everyone's rowing in the same direction. And here's the final piece: adaptability and trust. AI is constantly evolving. What works today might be outdated tomorrow. The best partnerships are the ones that can pivot, evolve, and keep moving forward. But none of that matters without trust. If you don't trust your partner to follow through, even the most innovative collaboration will fall apart. So let me bring it back to that first question. Who's your dream teammate? The flashy innovator, the steady player, or the all-rounder? Because when it comes to AI partnerships, it's not about choosing the best, it's about finding the right fit for your goals and making sure you can grow together. What's your approach to building partnerships? The sun is blazing, the heat shimmering off the pavement. You're standing at the starting line of a marathon. Around you, competitors stretch, adjust their gear, and size each other up. Suddenly, the starting pistol fires. The crowd surges forward, each runner pushing to get ahead. But this isn't just a race, it's the marathon to shape the future of AI. The runners, they're companies of all sizes, from tech giants with endless resources to nimble startups with bold, creative ideas. And while some sprint ahead on their own, relying on sheer size and power, others know the truth. This isn't a solo race. The winners in this AI marathon won't be the ones who try to go it alone. They'll be the ones who form partnerships, alliances that combine strengths, share knowledge, and carry each other through the toughest stretches. Because in this race, it's not just about speed, it's about endurance, collaboration, and knowing when to rely on others to overcome obstacles. Partnerships are becoming the backbone of innovation in AI for one simple reason: no single organization can master everything on its own. The challenges of AI are complex and the opportunities are vast, too vast for any one company, no matter how big, to handle alone. Think about it. The tech giants, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they have incredible infrastructure, data, and resources. But even they rely on specialized niche players to bring in fresh ideas, unique expertise, and the agility to adapt quickly to new challenges. These partnerships are what allow them to stay ahead of the curve. Meanwhile, smaller players need access to the platforms and scalability that only the big companies can offer. It's a symbiotic relationship where each side benefits from the other's strengths. The future of AI partnerships will be defined by three key factors. First, alignment. Companies must ensure their goals, values, and strategies align. You can't have one partner focused on short-term gains while the other is thinking 10 years ahead. It just won't work. Second, trust and transparency. Partnerships thrive when both sides are open about their capabilities, limitations, and expectations. Without trust, even the most promising collaboration will fall apart. Finally, a shared commitment to innovation. AI isn't static, it evolves daily. The best partnerships will be those that embrace this evolution together, experimenting, learning, and pushing boundaries as a team. We're still in the early stages of this race. Companies are just starting to realize the potential of partnerships in AI. Some are sprinting ahead, others are pacing themselves, and a few are still tying their shoes. But here's the bottom line: the future of AI isn't about who's running the fastest, it's about who's running the smartest. The companies that embrace partnerships, that combine their strengths and learn from each other, will be the ones to cross the finish line first, and they won't just survive, they'll thrive. So what's your strategy for this race? Who are the partners you need to take your AI strategy to the next level? Let's figure it out together. Imagine you've just finished the AI marathon we talked about in the last slide. You're sweaty, exhausted, but standing at the finish line, you realize something. You didn't cross it alone. Your partners, your collaborators were with you every step of the way. And that's when it hits you. The race isn't over. In AI, there's no single finish line, just new challenges, new opportunities, and new paths to explore together. Building partnerships in AI isn't just about finding someone to work with. It's about creating relationships that stand the test of time. These are the partnerships that don't crumble when the going gets tough, that adapt when the market shifts, and that evolve as technology advances. So, how do you build AI partnerships that last? Let's break it down step by step. Every lasting partnership starts with a vision, not just a vague idea or a handshake agreement, but a clear, detailed understanding of what you're working toward together. Ask yourself, what's the bigger picture? What problem are we solving? What opportunities are we creating? Take a look at some of the most successful partnerships in AI. Think about Microsoft and OpenAI. Their collaboration wasn't just about launching a cool tool like ChatGPT, it was about reshaping how people and businesses interact with technology. That shared vision gave their partnership purpose and direction. Without it, they'd just be two companies working on separate tasks, not a unified team driving a revolution. Here's the truth. No one is good at everything. Even the biggest companies in the world have gaps, blind spots, and areas where they struggle. The best partnerships are the ones that fill those gaps, where one partner's strength balances out the other's weakness. Let's take Amazon as an example. They're a logistics giant, but they work with niche AI firms to develop advanced tools like predictive delivery models and real-time route optimization. Why? Because those firms bring expertise Amazon doesn't have in-house. And in return, Amazon provides resources, infrastructure, and access to global markets. That's the power of complementary strengths. It's not about who's better, but about how you can make each other better. Trust isn't just a buzzword, it's the glue that holds partnerships together. And in AI, where you're dealing with sensitive data, cutting edge technology, and high stakes, trust is everything. Transparency is where trust begins. Both partners need to be upfront about their capabilities, limitations, and expectations. Are you clear about what you can deliver? Are you honest about what you need from your partner? Misaligned expectations can break a partnership before it even begins. Think of it like building a house. If one team's working on the foundation and the other's focused on the roof, without communicating, you're going to end up with a very expensive disaster. But when everyone's on the same page, sharing progress and solving problems together, you're building something that can stand the test of time. If there's one constant in AI, it's change. New technologies emerge, market demands shift, and what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. The strongest partnerships are the ones that can adapt to these changes together. Look at Google and DeepMind. Their partnership has evolved over time, moving from research breakthroughs like AlphaGo to solving real-world challenges in healthcare and energy efficiency. They didn't stick to a single project. They adapted, expanded, and grew as opportunities arose. Your partnership should be flexible enough to pivot when needed, while still staying grounded in that shared vision we talked about earlier. It's about building a dynamic relationship, not a rigid one. Partnerships aren't always smooth sailing. There will be setbacks, disagreements, and projects that don't go as planned. But here's the key. Use those moments to learn, grow, and strengthen your collaboration. And when you do succeed, celebrate it. Acknowledge the milestones you hit together, the innovations you create, and the impact you make. Celebrating success reinforces the value of the partnership and builds momentum for the future. In the fast-paced world of AI, the partnerships you build today will define your success tomorrow. But these aren't just transactional relationships. They're long-term commitments. They're about more than just shared resources or aligned goals. They're about shared growth, shared innovation, and shared impact. So ask yourself, what kind of partner do you want to be? What kind of partnerships do you want to build? Because the companies that figure this out will be the ones shaping the future, not just for themselves, but for the entire industry. Let's stop thinking about partnerships as deals to be made and start thinking of them as legacies to be built. Because when done right, partnerships aren't just a way to get ahead, they're the key to building something that lasts. Let me share a story about a friend of mine. He runs an AI startup. Brilliant guy, full of innovative ideas, but facing one of the biggest challenges of his career. He needed to pitch his AI firm to a tech giant. You know, the kind of company with towering office buildings, endless resources, and a reputation that can make or break your future. No pressure, right? So he calls me up and says, how do I even get them to listen to me, let alone see the value in what we're building? It's a fair question. When you're up against a tech behemoth, it can feel like shouting into the wind. But here's the thing, even the biggest players need fresh ideas. They're looking for innovation, agility, and partnerships that bring something new to the table. And that's exactly what I told him. He started by focusing on what made his firm unique. Instead of drowning them in technical jargon or endless slides about features, he zeroed in on the problem his AI solution could solve for them. It wasn't about his product, it was about their pain points and how his firm could help. Next, he showed how his solution complemented their existing infrastructure. Big players don't want something that disrupts what they've already built. They want something that enhances it. He positioned his firm as the missing puzzle piece, fitting seamlessly into their larger strategy. When the day of the pitch came, he walked into that boardroom like it wasn't just a pitch, it was a conversation. He asked questions, listened to their concerns, and tailored his answers on the spot. And here's the kicker. Instead of ending with a traditional call to action, he flipped the script. He said, let's explore what we can build together. It wasn't about selling them something. It was about creating something with them. And you know what? It worked. The tech giant not only signed on, they became a long-term partner. That pitch wasn't just about landing a deal. It was about proving that even a small firm could bring value to one of the biggest names in tech. This story is a reminder that no matter how big the stage or how daunting the challenge, the key to success is knowing your value, understanding your audience, and building relationships that are more than just transactional. So, what's your pitch? If you were in that boardroom, how would you position yourself as the partner they didn't even know they needed? Think about it, because sometimes the right story and the right strategy can change everything. Let's get one thing out of the way. Failing sucks. There's no escaping that. It's frustrating, it's uncomfortable, and sometimes it makes you want to throw in the towel entirely. But here's the truth about failure. It's one of the most powerful ways to learn. Think about it. When things go smoothly, you don't spend much time dissecting why they worked. You celebrate, you move on, but you don't dig deep. Failure, on the other hand, it forces you to pause, analyze, and ask the hard questions. It challenges you to think differently and, more often than not, leads to breakthroughs you wouldn't have reached otherwise. In fact, failure is like the gym for your brain. Sure, it hurts in the moment, but that's where the growth happens. And the best part? Once you've learned something from it, failure doesn't feel quite so painful anymore. It starts to feel like progress. In the world of AI, failure isn't just a possibility, it's a constant. Models don't work perfectly the first time. Algorithms behave unpredictably. Data is messy, incomplete, or biased. But here's the thing. Every failure in AI is a lesson waiting to be uncovered. For example, let's talk about predictive models. Early on, they often misfire, predicting the wrong outcomes or missing the mark entirely. But every time they fail, they provide feedback. Maybe the data set wasn't representative enough. Maybe the algorithm wasn't properly tuned. Each failure sharpens the process, making the model more accurate and effective over time. Here's a real-world story. One of our clients at Data and Analytics launched a marketing campaign powered by AI. They had all the right tools, a huge data set, and high expectations. But the campaign bombed. The predictions were off, the targeting didn't connect, and the results were far from what they imagined. Now they could have written it off as a disaster, but instead they leaned into the failure. They analyzed what went wrong. It turned out their data wasn't as clean as they thought, and they were relying on outdated assumptions about their audience. That insight changed everything. They adjusted their model, updated their data, and the next campaign, a runaway success. That initial failure wasn't just a setback, it became the foundation for growth. Okay, so how do you turn failure into progress? It starts with mindset. Instead of viewing failure as an endpoint, see it as a signal. It's telling you something isn't working, and that's incredibly valuable information. Step 1. Embrace the failure. Don't sugarcoat it or sweep it under the rug. Acknowledge it, own it, and get comfortable with it. Step 2. Analyze the failure. Dig into what went wrong and why. Was it a technical issue, a data problem, or maybe a strategic misstep? Step 3. Apply what you've learned. This is where the magic happens. Use the insights from your failure to refine your approach, improve your processes, and come back stronger. This isn't just theory, it's how some of the most successful innovations in history have come to life. Think about Thomas Edison. When asked about his thousands of failed attempts to invent the light bulb, he famously said, "I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset wasn't just resilience, it was genius. Let's not pretend failure doesn't hurt. It does. It can knock your confidence, make you question your abilities, and leave you wondering if you're even on the right path. But here's the secret. The pain of failure is temporary, but the lessons you take from it can last forever. When you're in the middle of a failure, it's easy to feel stuck. But if you zoom out, you'll see that every failure is just a step on the path to success. It's not the end of the road, it's a curve in the journey. And sometimes the lessons you learn from failing are the ones that lead you to your biggest wins. Let me share a personal story. Early in my career, I worked on a project that I was convinced was going to be groundbreaking. The plan was solid, the data looked great, and the team was fired up. But when we launched, total flop. The results weren't just disappointing, they were embarrassing. For a while, I couldn't even talk about it. It felt like this massive failure was all anyone would remember about me. But then I did what I'm asking you to do. I leaned into the failure. I looked at what went wrong, and I realized there were blind spots in our data analysis and gaps in our strategy. What I learned from that experience shaped the way I approach every project today. That failure, as painful as it was, became one of the most valuable lessons of my career. It made me better. Here's the bottom line. Failure sucks. There's no denying it. But if you're learning from it, it's not really failure. It's growth in disguise. In AI, in business, in life, every failure is a chance to learn, to adapt, and to come back stronger. So, the next time you hit a wall, remember this. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about what you do with it. Because when you turn failure into a lesson, suddenly it's not so hard to handle. In fact, it might just be the best thing that ever happened to you. Oh, I almost forgot to mention something from the last slide. You know what's even better than learning from your own failures? Learning from other people's failures. Seriously, why go through the pain yourself when someone else already did? And let me tell you, there's one failure I see over and over again that drives me absolutely insane: inflexibility. Just thinking about it makes my blood boil. Inflexibility has tanked so many great ideas, ruined promising projects, and left incredible teams stuck in the mud. It's one of those things that just gets under my skin. You know the type. But we've always done it this way. Or we can't change now. Really? Really? You'd rather sink the ship than adjust the sails? Honestly, nothing gets me more frustrated. I mean, come on, it's 2025. The world changes every 5 minutes, and you're telling me you can't budge? Wooza. Deep breath. Wooza. Here's the thing. Inflexibility isn't just stubbornness, it's the killer of progress. When companies cling too tightly to old ways of thinking or resist adapting to new challenges, they're setting themselves up for failure. The market shifts, technology evolves, and customer expectations change. But if you're not willing to adapt, I've seen it happen. A company gets too comfortable with their proven strategies. They ignore the signs that the world around them is changing. Then a competitor comes in, faster, more agile, and ready to embrace the future, and suddenly that proven strategy doesn't look so smart anymore. Being inflexible is like trying to steer a boat with a rusted wheel. The winds change, the currents shift, but you're stuck going in the same direction, straight into disaster. And when the crash happens, you'll wish you'd been willing to pivot. So, how do you avoid this all too common failure? First, you've got to build a culture of adaptability. This means encouraging your team to challenge the status quo, experiment with new ideas, and embrace change instead of fearing it. Second, listen to the signals. The market is always talking. It's up to you to pay attention. If your customers are asking for something new, don't dismiss it. If your competitors are moving faster, don't get defensive. Learn, adjust, and keep moving. And third, don't be afraid to fail fast and move on. Being flexible doesn't mean you'll get everything right on the first try. It means you're willing to make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. The more adaptable you are, the better equipped you'll be to handle whatever comes next. Look, inflexibility isn't just frustrating, it's dangerous. It's the enemy of growth, the destroyer of opportunities, and one of the biggest reasons great companies fall behind. But here's the good news. Flexibility isn't about throwing out everything you know. It's about staying open, listening, and adjusting when the situation calls for it. So, let me ask you, are you steering your ship with an open hand, ready to adjust the wheel? Or are you clinging to the same course, hoping the winds don't change? Because trust me, they will. And when they do, the ones who are ready to adapt will be the ones who thrive. USA. Deep breath. Let's keep moving forward because the future waits for no one. Oh boy. Let's talk about change management. You know, that thing everyone says is important, but secretly, or not so secretly, hates dealing with. Change management is the broccoli of the business world. Everyone knows it's good for them, but given the choice, they'd rather just have dessert. And yet, here we are. Because, let's face it, change management isn't just necessary, it's unavoidable. The thing is, change management isn't just about processes or policies, it's about people. And people, they don't love change. Even when it's for the better, change makes people uncomfortable. It forces them out of their routines, challenges their assumptions, and worst of all, makes them learn new things. No wonder it's such a tough sell. But here's the kicker. Without change management, even the best strategies, tools, or innovations will fail. You can roll out the most advanced AI system, the most cutting-edge technology, or the boldest new strategy, but if you don't manage the human side of change, forget it. Resistance will build, morale will drop, and your shiny new solution will fall flat before it even gets off the ground. Change management is what bridges the gap between intention and execution. It's what takes a great idea from a PowerPoint slide and turns it into a real lasting transformation. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's the glue that holds everything together when the winds of change start blowing. Okay, so if it's so important, why does everyone hate it? Let's break it down. First, change management is hard. It's not just about convincing people to do something differently. It's about addressing their fears, their doubts, and sometimes even their anger. Change forces people to step out of their comfort zones, and let's be honest, no one loves that. Second, change management takes time. And in today's fast-paced business world, patience isn't exactly in abundance. Leaders want quick wins, employees want stability, and no one wants to sit through another meeting about organizational realignment. And third, change management often feels intangible. Unlike a new tool or a measurable KPI, the success of change management isn't always immediately visible. It's like planting seeds. You don't see the results right away, but without it, nothing grows. So, how do you make change management work when no one wants to deal with it? Let me break it down into three key steps: communication, 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 and communication. If you want people to embrace change, you have to talk to them. And not just once in a company-wide email. You need ongoing, honest, two-way communication. Explain the why behind the change, share the vision, address concerns. And most importantly, listen. Because when people feel heard, they're far more likely to get on board. Empathy is your secret weapon, so I have loaded my Gatling gun with empathy. Change isn't just a business process, it's a human process. People are going to have feelings about it. Some will be excited, others will be skeptical, and a few will downright resist. Meet them where they are, acknowledge their feelings, address their concerns, and show them that you understand. Empathy doesn't just ease resistance, it builds trust. Equip and empower. Yes, you deserve a massage afterwards. Change management isn't just about telling people what's happening. It's about giving them the tools and support they need to succeed. Whether it's training, resources, or clear guidance, make sure your people feel prepared for what's ahead. Empower them to take ownership of the change, and you'll be amazed at what they can achieve. Here's a quick story to bring this home. A company I worked with was rolling out a major AI-driven platform. On paper, it was a game changer, more efficiency, better insights, huge cost savings. But in practice, it was a disaster at first. Why? Because they skipped change management. The employees felt blindsided. They didn't understand why the change was happening. They didn't feel prepared to use the new tools, and morale took a nosedive. But once the leadership team hit pause and focused on change management, everything shifted. They started communicating regularly, held training sessions, and created a feedback loop to address concerns. Slowly but surely, resistance turned into buy-in, and the rollout became a success story instead of a cautionary tale. Let's be real, no one wakes up excited about change management. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, and it takes time. But it's also one of the most important things you can do for your organization, because at the end of the day, change is inevitable. The only question is whether you'll manage it or let it manage you. So, the next time you're faced with a big change, don't skip the hard stuff. Embrace the discomfort, lean into the process, and remember, the only thing harder than managing change is dealing with the consequences of avoiding it. USA, deep breath, let's tackle it together. All right, let's talk about something we've all been guilty of, getting excited about AI tools we don't actually need. You've seen them. They've got the coolest names, sleek interfaces, and sales pitches that make you think they'll transform everything from your customer engagement to your lunch break efficiency. And yeah, they sound fancy, but here's the big question. Do they actually help? Are they solving a real problem? Or are they just another shiny gadget in the ever-growing AI toolbox? It's like buying that high-end espresso machine you saw at a trade show. It looked incredible in the demo, but now it's just sitting in the corner collecting dust. Because let's face it, you don't actually need 15 different brewing settings. The same thing happens with AI. Businesses adopt tools that seem exciting in theory, but in practice, they create more complexity than value. It's a common trap, and it's time we start rethinking how we approach AI. The market is overflowing with AI solutions right now. For every real game changer, there are 10 others that sound great in a pitch deck but deliver little value. And the result? Businesses end up overwhelmed by tools that don't align with their actual needs. Teams struggle to integrate these tools into their workflows. Decision makers lose sight of their goals because they're too busy trying to make these new systems work. It's not just inefficient, it's counterproductive. Instead of focusing on solving real problems, companies get caught up in justifying why they bought that fancy tool in the first place. It's technology driving strategy instead of strategy guiding technology. And when that happens, everyone loses. Here's the truth. We don't need more AI tools. We need better strategies. The goal shouldn't be to keep up with the latest trends or to impress stakeholders with flashy dashboards. The goal should be to simplify, streamline, and solve real problems. This is where rethinking and rebuilding come into play. It's not just about cutting back, it's about creating clarity. It's about clearing out the noise, refocusing on what truly matters, and building a system that works for you, not against you. Let's break it down into 3 steps. First, start with your goals. What are you actually trying to achieve? This sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how often it gets overlooked. Are you looking to improve customer experience? Streamline operations? Drive innovation? Whatever your goals are, they need to be the foundation of your AI strategy. Start with the outcome you want, and then find the tools that can help you get there. Second, audit what you already have. Take a close, honest look at your current tools. Which ones are actually delivering value? Which ones are solving real problems? And which ones are just adding clutter? Be ruthless. If a tool isn't making a meaningful impact, it's time to let it go. Finally, build with purpose. Once you've cleared the clutter, focus on creating a system that's streamlined, cohesive, and aligned with your goals. This might mean fewer tools, but deeper integrations. It might mean rethinking how your teams work together or redefining your processes to better leverage the tools you already have. The point is to build a system that's purposeful and effective, not just impressive on paper. Here's the real danger of chasing shiny new tools. It distracts you from what's important. When your focus is scattered, you lose sight of your goals. You spend more time managing tools than solving problems. And ultimately, you end up with a system that's bloated, inefficient, and far less effective than it could be. This isn't just a waste of resources, it's a missed opportunity because while you're busy juggling unnecessary tools, your competitors are zeroing in on their goals, cutting through the noise, and building systems that actually work. And in a world where AI moves fast, that focus can make all the difference. The good news, it's never too late to refocus. You can clear out the clutter, reset your priorities, and start rebuilding with intention. It's not about having the most tools, it's about having the right tools. And when you build with purpose, you create a system that doesn't just meet your needs, but evolves with you as your business grows. So here's the challenge I'm leaving you with. Take a step back. Look at your AI strategy. Are your tools solving real problems, or are they just shiny distractions? Are you building something purposeful, or are you just following the latest trend? This is the moment to rethink, rebuild, and set your focus. Because the future isn't about having the most AI, it's about using AI in the smartest, most impactful way possible. Let's make it happen. All right, let's take a moment to clear the air. It's easy to get swept up in the buzzwords, the headlines, the promises of AI being the magic wand that solves all of humanity's problems. But if there's one thing I want you to take away today, it's this. AI doesn't solve problems on its own. It's not the hero of this story, it's the sidekick. The real magic happens when AI is combined with human ingenuity, critical thinking, and strategic collaboration. Now imagine this, you're on a soccer team and you've got a shiny new player, a star athlete, let's say. Everyone expects them to score all the goals, win all the games, and lead the team to victory. But here's the thing. No matter how talented that player is, if the team isn't working together, if there's no strategy, no communication, and no alignment, then that star player is just running around aimlessly. That's AI. It's the player with infinite potential, but it's up to us, the humans, to design the plays, build the trust, and keep the team moving in sync. This brings us to today's reality. It's not about the tools alone, it's about how we use them. Tools like generative AI, predictive analytics, and machine learning algorithms are the Swiss Army knives of our digital age. But just owning a Swiss Army knife doesn't make you a master survivalist. You have to know when to use the knife, the screwdriver, or the corkscrew, depending on the challenge at hand. Now, speaking of challenges, let's talk about how organizations approach AI. Some charge ahead, thinking that adopting the latest tool will automatically equate to success. Others hesitate, overwhelmed by the complexity and risks. The truth lies somewhere in between. It's not about adopting AI for the sake of it. It's about identifying the specific problems we want to solve and asking, how can AI amplify human effort in this area? That's where we need to shift the conversation. It's no longer just about implementing AI. It's about embedding AI into a strategy that enhances human decision making. For example, in healthcare, AI isn't diagnosing patients alone. It's giving doctors tools to make faster, more accurate diagnoses. In logistics, it's not about replacing workers. It's about streamlining operations so those workers can focus on creative problem solving. And here's another thing. Sometimes what's holding us back isn't a lack of AI, but a lack of adaptability. Organizations that thrive in this AI-driven future are those that build cultures of learning, flexibility, and experimentation. They encourage teams to question old methods, embrace failures as learning opportunities, and stay curious about what's next. So, as we dive deeper into the future of AI and its role in adaptability, let's remember, AI is the catalyst, but we are the chemists. The innovation, the breakthroughs, and the true transformation, it all starts with us. Okay, talk about something we've all experienced. That magical moment when you step into an Apple store, the sleek design, the glowing logo, the friendly genius ready to assist you. It's all part of a master plan. Apple doesn't just sell products, they sell experiences. And let's be honest, they're really good at it. They make you believe that their $1,200 smartphone is not just a phone, but a lifestyle, a statement, a gateway to innovation. And what do? We happily swipe our cards. Why? Because Apple has mastered the art of persuasion, storytelling, and creating value beyond the product itself. Now, imagine if we could take a page out of Apple's playbook and apply it to how we position AI and adaptability within our organizations. Selling AI isn't just about saying, hey, here's this cool technology. It's about showing the transformative journey it takes us on. It's about framing AI as a tool that empowers teams, elevates productivity, and solves problems we didn't even know we had. Think about it. When Apple talks about their products, they don't focus on the technical specs alone. Instead, they focus on how their product fits into your life. It's not about the megapixels on the camera. It's about capturing your memories. It's not about the processor speed. It's about making your life smoother. Similarly, when we talk about AI, we need to emphasize how it impacts day-to-day operations, decision-making, and innovation, not just the algorithms behind it. But Apple's magic doesn't end there. They've also mastered a culture of adaptability. Every new product launch, every incremental upgrade is a testament to their ability to predict what customers need before they even realize it themselves. And that's where this slide comes in, creating a culture of adaptability within our organizations. First, let's talk about encouraging open communication. This isn't just about talking for the sake of it. It's about fostering an environment where team members feel safe to express their thoughts and concerns. When employees feel heard, they're more likely to contribute innovative ideas. Apple doesn't make products in a silo. Their culture thrives on collaboration, sharing ideas, and listening to user feedback to drive their next big innovation. Then there's continuous learning. At Apple, the product team doesn't stop once the iPhone is launched. They analyze how it's used, monitor feedback, and use those insights to improve the next version. For organizations, this means investing in training programs, workshops, and mentorship opportunities to stay ahead of the curve. AI and adaptability are moving targets. Continuous learning ensures your teams are equipped to handle those changes. Now, let's embrace experimentation. This means allowing teams to test new ideas without the fear of failure. Apple didn't succeed by sticking to the status quo, they disrupted it. Encouraging experimentation leads to breakthroughs and innovative approaches to challenges. And finally, recognize and celebrate flexibility. Apple doesn't just celebrate the final product, they celebrate the journey, the team effort, and the ability to pivot when needed. For us, this means rewarding employees who demonstrate adaptability and celebrating small wins to boost morale. So, what can we take from all this? Apple's approach teaches us that adaptability isn't a nice to have, it's a must have. Whether it's communicating openly, fostering continuous learning, experimenting boldly, or celebrating flexibility, the key is to create a culture that thrives on change, not one that fears it. Let's dive deeper into how you can make this happen in your organization. Wait, Mom, I can't pause right now. I'm mid-battle and I just unlocked a new level. Just one more move. Oh, yes, leveled up. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Where were we? Oh, right, leveling up. Let me explain. If you've ever played a video game, you know the thrill of leveling up. That surge of excitement when you unlock a new ability, grab a powerful tool, or just realize you've hit a new high score. But here's the thing. What if I told you that leveling up doesn't just happen in video games? What if I told you your organization can level up in the real world and the cheat code is continuous learning? Oh, yeah, we're talking about those game changing power ups that turn ordinary players or companies into champions. Now, let's get serious for a second. Continuous learning is not just some fancy term we throw around, it's the backbone of staying relevant in today's hyper evolving AI landscape. The tech world is like a game that never pauses. New updates are coming out every week. Competitors are leveling up their strategies, and you're stuck if you don't keep improving. Organizations that embrace continuous learning ensure their teams are not just keeping up, but staying ahead. Think of it like this. In a video game, when you level up, you don't just keep doing the same thing over and over. You gain new abilities, you adapt to tougher challenges. The same rule applies here. If you're still stuck in level 1 with outdated knowledge and tools, your competition is going to speed past you, leaving you stuck in the dust. To keep your company in the race, you need to invest in your team's skills. Think training programs, mentorships, workshops, you name it. And we're not talking about boring PowerPoints that put everyone to sleep. We're talking about hands-on dynamic learning experiences, the kind that makes people say, wow, I didn't know we could do that. Just like in multiplayer games, you win when you collaborate. Create a culture where your employees don't just hoard knowledge, they share it. Make learning a group effort. If one person learns a new AI tool or technique, have them bring it back to the team and show everyone else how to use it. Here's a tough one. Stop focusing only on today's challenges and start preparing for tomorrow's. What AI trends are around the corner? What skills will your team need a year from now? This kind of forward thinking is like predicting the boss's next move in a game. It gives you the upper hand. Now let me leave you with this. Every investment in learning is like earning XP in a game. You might not see the benefits right away, but every session, every workshop, and every skill learned adds up. Before you know it, you're not just playing the game, you're dominating it. So, who's ready to hit the next level? Let's get started. Okay, picture this. You've got a toolbox. Not just any toolbox, but one that holds everything you'll ever need to fix, build, or create something amazing. Now imagine you're building the future of your organization's AI strategy. The right tools in that box could make the difference between crafting a masterpiece or ending up with a wobbly, unfinished mess. Today, we're talking about those tools and frameworks for flexibility, and believe me, this is the good stuff, the nitty-gritty that turns vision into action. All right, let's dive in. First, let's talk about assessing your current tools. You know that feeling when you look into your actual toolbox and see a rusty screwdriver or a hammer you haven't used in years? It's time to take stock. What's working for you? What's outdated? What's just collecting dust? For organizations, this means evaluating your existing tech stack. Are the tools you're using still aligned with your goals? Do they support the level of flexibility you need to pivot when the market or your strategy shifts? This isn't just about asking, do they work? It's about asking, are they taking us to the next level? Next up, let's talk about modular platforms. Think of these like Lego bricks. They're designed to fit together, but you can swap out pieces, add new ones, or completely change your creation without tearing the whole thing down. In the world of AI and tech, modular platforms are your secret weapon for adaptability. They allow you to easily add or remove functionalities as your needs evolve. This way, you're not stuck with an expensive monolith of a system that can't grow with you. It's scalable, it's efficient, and it's downright essential for staying competitive. Now let's get into the juicy part, knowledge sharing. This is where you open up that toolbox and say, hey team, what do you think? Encouraging team members to share insights, experiences, and even their experiments with new tools fosters a culture of curiosity. It's like a community workshop where everyone contributes their ideas and, in return, walks away smarter and more prepared. But it doesn't stop there. Organizations that prioritize knowledge sharing don't just learn faster, they innovate faster. You're not just building a team, you're building a think tank. And finally, let's not forget the golden rule, regular evaluation and adjustment. Remember that toolbox? What happens if you don't maintain it? Tools get dull, things break. The same goes for your tech stack and frameworks. You need to assess your tools and processes periodically, ensuring they're still fit for purpose. Are they meeting your organizational goals? Are they aligned with your long-term vision? Feedback loops are your best friend here. Gather input from your team, identify areas for improvement, and make adjustments as needed. It's not a one and done deal. It's an ongoing process, like sharpening your saw to keep cutting through challenges. Now let's step back for a second and take a look at the bigger picture. Tools and frameworks are not just about the shiny new gadgets or buzzwords. They're about enabling your people, your team, to be flexible, adaptive, and ready to seize opportunities. They're the foundation of your strategy, the building blocks of your success. So let's get practical. Look at your toolbox, your tech stack, your frameworks, your processes, what's missing, what needs an upgrade, and most importantly, how can you use these tools to not just solve today's problems, but to prepare for tomorrow's opportunities? Because let's face it, in the fast-paced world of AI and business, those who adapt thrive, and those who don't, well, they're the ones stuck wondering why their toolbox is full of old rusty tools. Let's make sure that's not you. Ready to build something extraordinary? Let's do this. Ahoy there, AI captains. Did you see that storm brewing on the horizon? The wind's picking up, the waves are crashing, and your crew is looking to you for direction. This isn't just a regular day at sea. This is the unpredictable ocean of AI strategy, and it's not for the faint of heart. But fear not, because today we're going full pirate mode. We're grabbing our compasses, hoisting the sails, and charting a course through the wild waters of innovation and adaptability. Are you ready to level up and claim that treasure of success? Let's set sail. Now, the first order of business for any great captain or AI leader is to evaluate the ship. In our case, that's your AI strategy. Think of this as pulling out your spyglass and surveying the horizon. Are your tools and processes running as smoothly as they should? Are your key performance indicators shining bright like the North Star? or are they veering off course? Regular assessments are like checking the hull for leaks. If you skip this step, you're risking a full-on shipwreck when the storm hits. This means diving deep into your systems. Analyze the data, study the results, and ask the hard questions. Is this strategy actually helping us reach our destination, or are we just spinning in circles in the middle of the ocean? You wouldn't sail blind, and neither should your AI initiatives. Your metrics and KPIs are the charts and maps guiding you to success. But no captain sails alone, and that brings us to the crew, your stakeholders. Picture this. You're on the deck, barking orders, but your crew doesn't understand why. Frustrated mutineers don't make for a great voyage. That's why engaging your team is crucial. Listen to their voices, their concerns, their insights. Maybe the deckhand has spotted something you didn't, or the navigator has an alternate route to avoid the rocks ahead. Feedback from your team, whether it's a frontline employee or a C-suite exec, is your secret weapon. So how do you gather this treasure trove of insights? Simple. Create open forums, feedback sessions, and even anonymous surveys if your crew's feeling a bit shy. Remember, collaboration isn't a weakness. It's the wind that fills your sails. When everyone feels like their voice matters, they'll row in unison, and that's when you really pick up speed. And now, my fellow captains, comes the most exciting part. Adjusting your strategy based on the treasure map you've created. You've gathered your feedback, analyzed your metrics, and now it's time to act. This is where the real fun begins, pivoting, refining, and adjusting your course. Maybe you need to trim the sails or shift the weight of the cargo to balance the ship. In business terms, that might mean reallocating resources, doubling down on what's working, and cutting what's not. And yes, sometimes this means making tough decisions. Maybe the route you originally plotted was wrong. That's okay. A good captain knows when to turn the wheel. Adjusting doesn't mean you failed. It means you're agile, adaptable, and ready for anything the ocean throws your way. Let's be real. Storms in the AI world aren't going away anytime soon. The seas are rough, the waters are uncharted, and the competition is fierce. But that's what makes this exciting, right? You're not just here to stay afloat. You're here to master the waves and leave your competition in the wake. So, let me leave you with this, my fearless AI pirates. Keep your compass steady, your crew engaged, and your eyes on the treasure. Regularly assess your progress. Gather insights from your team and adjust your strategy with precision and confidence. That's how you don't just survive the storm, you thrive in it. Now hoist those sails, tighten the ropes, and let's conquer this AI sea together. Your treasure awaits. Let's go claim it. If there's one thing I repeat in every single consulting and training session, like a broken record but with purpose, it's this. To truly engage your stakeholders, you have to treat them like sponsors. Yes, sponsors. And no, I don't mean asking them to fund your next marathon run, although that'd be cool. I'm talking about giving them a starring role in your AI journey, turning them from passive participants into active champions of your vision. And the best way to make this transformation happen? Change the roles and just for a moment, slip into their shoes and hope they have no smelly feet. You're pitching an idea to a stakeholder. You've got your data, your flashy AI use case slides, and your confidence dialed up to 11. But here's the twist. Instead of explaining the project from your perspective, what if you flipped the script? Imagine the stakeholder is sitting where you are, holding the responsibility to implement the AI strategy. They're facing the same questions, the same hurdles, and they've got their own priorities to balance. What would they need to see, hear, and feel to believe in the plan you're presenting? Now, instead of being the AI expert in the room, you're the empathetic guide. You're not just talking about machine learning algorithms or predictive models. You're speaking their language, addressing their concerns, and most importantly, showing how this whole initiative benefits them. It's not about how great your AI tool is. It's about how it makes their lives easier, how it helps them shine in their role, or how it solves a problem they've been grappling with for years. People don't invest in tech. They invest in outcomes. So, how do you make this happen? Let's dig deeper. First, you've got to create collaborative opportunities. Let's say your stakeholder is a senior exec who's skeptical of AI. Instead of presenting them with a fully baked solution, invite them into the kitchen. Workshops are your secret weapon here. Collaborative brainstorming sessions where ideas flow freely and everyone feels like their input matters. Frame these sessions not as AI presentations, but as co-creation opportunities. Trust me, once they see their fingerprints on the strategy, they'll start to see themselves as a sponsor instead of just an observer. Take this one step further. During these workshops, assign roles that highlight the stakeholders' expertise. Let them lead discussions in areas they know best. Give them ownership of a specific part of the AI project. This small shift in dynamic does wonders. It turns their perception from "I'm being sold something" to "I'm building something." And when people feel like builders, they're far more invested in the outcome. Second, facilitate regular feedback moments. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a big AI deployment and things are going okay. But then you notice a critical gap, a miscommunication, or an oversight. It happens. The easiest way to prevent this: create structured moments for feedback. Regular check-ins aren't just about reporting progress, they're a chance to show stakeholders how their input is shaping the project. Open-ended questions like, how do you see this aligning with your department's priorities? Or, what concerns do you have about this approach? Are gold mines for insight. And here's a little pro tip. Don't just listen to their feedback, act on it. And when you do, shout it from the rooftops. Something like, thanks to Sarah's suggestion, we've made this critical adjustment and it's already making a difference. That public acknowledgement isn't just courteous, it's a surefire way to build trust and encourage more engagement. Now, let's talk about empathy. I know, empathy sounds like one of those soft, squishy concepts that feels miles away from the hard numbers of AI, but let me tell you, it's anything but soft. Empathy is the glue that turns skeptics into supporters. The way you develop it is simple. Spend time understanding what your stakeholders want and what they fear. Here's an exercise I often recommend. Imagine the stakeholders' day-to-day reality. Maybe they're swamped with meetings, balancing KPIs, and under constant pressure to hit targets. When they hear AI, what they might actually hear is another thing I don't have time to deal with. Your job is to flip that narrative. Make it crystal clear how AI will reduce their workload, help them hit those targets faster, and, dare I say, make them look good in the process. Finally, celebrate their wins as much as you celebrate your own. Stakeholders who feel like sponsors need recognition too. Did their suggestion improve an outcome? Highlight it. Did their support lead to a successful pilot? Shout them out. It's not just about the technical milestones, it's about the human ones. When they see their role in the success story, they're far more likely to champion the next phase of the journey. So here's the takeaway, folks. Engaging stakeholders isn't about persuading them to get on board. It's about elevating them to the role of sponsor, making them feel like co-creators, active participants, and celebrated contributors. It's about slipping into their shoes, speaking their language, and turning your AI vision into a shared mission. Now let's go turn some stakeholders into sponsors and make your AI journey a true team adventure. Anchors away. Let's dive into slide 36, starting with the creative metaphor you've chosen, turning your old clunker into a sleek Porsche 911. Imagine this. You've been driving the same trusty car for years. It's got scratches, the engine sputters a bit, and let's face it, it's not winning any races. But now, someone hands you the keys to a brand new Porsche 911, gleaming, roaring, and ready to zoom past everyone. Here's the catch, though. You don't just magically get that Porsche. You've got to build it. piece by piece. But don't worry, I'm here to guide you with the roadmap that takes your organization from a clunky old strategy to the AI powerhouse equivalent of that luxury sports car. First, you need to know where you're headed. Driving aimlessly in a Porsche is still a waste of gas, right? So, what do you want to achieve with AI? This is where we outline clear, measurable objectives. Think SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Whether it's reducing operational costs, enhancing customer experience, or pioneering innovative solutions, this is the phase where you draw the map before even starting the engine. A Porsche isn't built in a day or in one massive leap. It's about assembly, piece by piece, milestone by milestone. Similarly, in your AI strategy, you need checkpoints. These milestones could be implementing a basic predictive model, scaling up to real-time analytics, and eventually automating complex decisions. Each of these steps represents a victory lap, keeping the team motivated and showing clear, tangible progress along the way. And here's the secret to staying ahead: regular pit stops. Even a Porsche needs fine-tuning to maintain peak performance. As you progress, take time to review. Are you meeting your goals? Are the tools you're using still the best options? What's the feedback from your team and stakeholders? This iterative process keeps you on track, adapting to changes in market dynamics, technology advancements, or even internal shifts. By following this roadmap, you're not just upgrading your car, you're redefining your entire journey. Suddenly, the potholes of outdated processes and bottlenecks in decision-making are no longer obstacles. You're cruising at full speed, overtaking competitors and setting new standards. All right, buckle up, because what comes next will take us even closer to the future of adaptability and flexibility. When we talk about the future of AI, people often imagine something shiny and futuristic. Robot butlers, flying cars, you name it. But let me paint a different picture for you. Imagine you're on a choppy sea and the weather is unpredictable. One minute it's smooth sailing, the next a storm comes out of nowhere. Now, do you think the ship that survives is the one built to be the biggest, or the one designed to adapt, shift, and move with the waves? Exactly, the one that knows how to flex with the storm winds. This is exactly what organizations need to think about when it comes to AI. Flexibility is their lifeboat. You don't just prepare for the weather you can see. You build for the weather you can't. That's the mindset. Now, flexibility isn't just about reacting to change, it's about anticipating it. Think of it like being in a chess game where you're always a few moves ahead. It's the difference between waiting for the competition to make a move and shaping the board in your favor. Flexibility allows you to rewrite the rules of the game. That's why forward-thinking organizations are asking themselves, what's next, instead of what now? But flexibility alone isn't enough. It's what you pair it with that makes it powerful. That's where learning comes in. If you're not learning, you're standing still. And in today's AI-driven world, standing still is falling behind. It's about fostering curiosity, encouraging teams to question, experiment, and stay endlessly curious about what's possible. When you keep learning, you're not just adapting, you're growing stronger. Now, let's get real for a moment. Innovation? It's thrilling, but it can also feel like trying to ride a unicycle on a balance beam. Exciting, yes, but tricky. Organizations have to strike that delicate balance between dreaming big and keeping it practical. Sure, AI tools can be sexy and groundbreaking, but are they solving real-world problems? If not, you're just spinning your wheels. It's about creating innovations that actually work, things that matter and move the needle. And here's the thing, regularly checking in on where you are is a game changer. It's not about tearing everything down, it's about fine-tuning, recalibrating, and upgrading when needed. Like a chef who tastes as they cook, you have to constantly evaluate your AI strategies. Are you headed in the right direction? Do you need to pivot? It's an ongoing process that ensures you're ready for whatever comes next. Finally, let's talk about the big picture. The companies that will dominate in the future aren't just the ones that jump on the latest trend. They're the ones that build systems and strategies that can flex and grow over time. It's not a quick sprint, it's a marathon. And the only way to win is to stay adaptable every step of the way. When flexibility becomes part of your DNA, it's not just about survival, it's about thriving. So here's the truth. Being flexible isn't just nice to have, it's essential. And in the world of AI, it's what separates the leaders from the followers. It's what turns a storm into an opportunity. And the best part, the ones who master this approach aren't just surviving, they're shaping the future. And that's the ultimate win. Yep, here we are, smack dab in the middle of an evolving landscape. It's not just shifting, it's flipping, twisting, and sometimes doing backflips right in front of us. And if you're running a company, this isn't just interesting. This is revolutionary. It's a wake-up call. A, hey, you need to rethink everything moment. Let's take a step back and think about what's really happening. The pace of change isn't just fast, it's dizzying. Imagine you're in a race and suddenly halfway through the rules change, the track shifts, and oh yeah, they've replaced your car with a rocket. That's the kind of acceleration we're talking about in the tech world right now. AI isn't just an addition to the toolbox, it's rewriting the manual. But here's the kicker. Adapting to this landscape isn't just about being quick on your feet, it's about being strategic. Companies need to be like a chess player, always thinking a few moves ahead. Ask yourself, are you simply reacting to change, or are you anticipating it? The winners in this new era aren't the ones who are just good at playing the game. They're the ones who are reshaping the board entirely. Let's talk specifics. The evolution of generative AI, for instance, it's not just changing the way we work, it's creating opportunities we didn't even know existed. Think about businesses using AI to create hyper-personalized customer experiences or to predict market trends before they even emerge. It's a world where being reactive isn't enough. You've got to be proactive, nimble, and ready to pivot at a moment's notice. And what about strategy? This is where companies often get it wrong. Too many businesses are focused on what's shiny and new without asking the critical question, is this actually solving a problem? Because if it's not, it's just a distraction. The best strategies aren't the ones chasing every trend. They're the ones that align with a clear vision and purpose. It's about balancing innovation with practicality. Sure, moonshot ideas are fun, but they need to deliver real-world value. Now let's get real. This kind of adaptation isn't easy. It requires a mindset shift across every level of an organization. Leadership has to embrace the unknown, teams need to foster continuous learning, and everyone needs to be comfortable with the idea that the only constant is change. It's like a dance. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow, but you've always got to keep moving. And let's not forget about the human side of this. Technology evolves, but it's the people behind it that drive success. The organizations that thrive in this landscape are the ones that empower their teams to innovate, to experiment, and yes, to fail, because failure isn't the end, it's a stepping stone to what's next. So as we stand here looking at this ever-changing, fast-paced world of AI, the question isn't, can we keep up? It's how do we lead the way? The answers lie in our ability to adapt, to learn, and to build strategies that aren't just strong, they're flexible, resilient, and ready for anything the future throws at us. Revolutionary thinking, folks. That's how we turn an evolving landscape into an endless horizon of possibilities. Let's embrace it. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because today we're embarking on a time-traveling adventure. That's right. And the best part, you don't need a flux capacitor, a DeLorean, or even a mad scientist in a lab coat. What we're about to explore is the future of AI deployments, and spoiler alert, it's a future you'll want to be a part of. Close your eyes for a second. Okay, don't really close them, or you won't see this amazing presentation. Picture yourself stepping into a time machine. The year? Let's say 2033. The world has changed, but not because AI took over like a sci-fi dystopia. No, it's changed because the companies that anticipated future needs, invested wisely, and embraced flexibility are now thriving, while others, well, let's just say they're not even in the race anymore. Now let's rewind back to today, the present moment. The decisions we're making right now are shaping that future. So, what does it take to ensure that your company is one of the pioneers, not just a footnote in the history books of AI? Let's break it down. First stop on our time-traveling adventure, anticipating future needs. This isn't just about keeping your eye on the horizon. It's about building the radar system that helps you spot opportunities before anyone else does. Successful companies aren't waiting for trends to hit them like a freight train. They're analyzing the market, predicting what customers will want, and positioning themselves to meet those needs before the competition even knows what's happening. Next stop, investing in flexible solutions. Imagine you're driving a car. Would you rather be in an old school stick shift jalopy or a Tesla with self-driving capabilities that adjust to the road ahead? Flexibility is like that Tesla. It's the ability to pivot, to adjust, to grow as the landscape changes. AI solutions that adapt to new demands and evolving technologies. Those are the investments that pay off, not just now, but long into the future. Fast forward a little further, staying informed on AI trends. Now, let's get real for a moment. Staying informed doesn't mean getting overwhelmed by every flashy headline about AI. It means seeking out reputable sources, networking with thought leaders, and diving deep into the advancements that matter most to your business. It's about filtering the noise and focusing on the signal. Podcasts, webinars, conferences, this is where you find the insights that keep you ahead of the curve. And finally, embracing a learning mindset. The best time travelers, and by that I mean the companies that are truly future ready, know that learning never stops. They foster curiosity, they encourage experimentation, they don't just tolerate failure, they see it as a stepping stone to success. It's not about getting it right the first time, it's about getting better every time. So here's the big takeaway from our time-traveling adventure. The future isn't a mystery, it's a choice. Every decision you make today is a vote for the kind of organization you'll become tomorrow. Will you anticipate, adapt, and evolve? Or will you cling to the past while the future races ahead? Your time machine is waiting, and the best part? It's powered by your vision, your adaptability, and your ability to embrace the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. Let's build a future worth traveling to. Ready to take the leap? Let's go. You're sitting at the cutting edge of AI innovation, a world where the pace of change is measured not in years, but in months or even weeks. It's exhilarating, but it's also overwhelming. Staying ahead means keeping your finger on the pulse of the industry, but how exactly do you do that? Let's break it down and take a closer look. First, engage with reputable sources, and by that, I don't just mean scrolling through social media posts, although those LinkedIn updates can be insightful. I'm talking about really immersing yourself in podcasts, webinars, and industry white papers that dive deep into the latest advancements. Did you know we have a podcast and live stream called the Data Science Show? It's your backstage pass to expert insights, groundbreaking discussions, and everything in between. And guess what? You can even become a guest speaker or sponsor the show to share your expertise with the community. That's not just staying informed, it's becoming a part of the conversation. Now, let's talk industry conferences. They're like the Comic-Con of the AI world, where you rub shoulders with thought leaders, pioneers, and innovators shaping the future. You don't just get to listen, you get to exchange ideas, ask questions, and come away inspired with actionable insights. It's a chance to connect the dots between your organization's goals and what's happening globally in AI. And for those of you who haven't been, let me tell you, it's worth every minute. Then there's networking with peers. This isn't just a casual LinkedIn connection spree. It's about fostering genuine collaborations. Dive into knowledge-sharing platforms, join professional forums, and engage in group discussions dedicated to AI. These aren't just platforms, they're ecosystems where the future of AI is being written. Want to take the first step? Connect with me on LinkedIn and follow Data and Analytics to stay in the loop. And here's a pro tip. Remember that staying updated isn't just about consuming information, it's also about contributing. Share your insights, post your thoughts, and join the conversation. The more you give, the more you'll grow. Whether it's through articles, videos, or even speaking gigs, becoming a visible voice in the AI community can open doors you didn't even know existed. But here's the golden thread that ties it all together: adaptability. Staying informed isn't a one-time task, it's a mindset. In this evolving world of AI, your ability to adapt is your biggest competitive advantage. So, what's your next step? Dive into those webinars, sign up for conferences, and don't forget to tune in to the Data Science Show because the future waits for no one. All right, let me get personal here. I'm about to tap into a little emotional marketing because this one hits close to home. Let's talk about emphasizing a learning mindset, not as a concept or a corporate buzzword, but as a philosophy, a way of approaching life, work, and yes, AI. You're standing at the edge of a cliff. Behind you is the safe, comfortable ground of what you already know. In front of you is the vast, open expanse of what you could learn. Taking that leap isn't easy. Trust me, I've been there. But here's the truth: it's in that leap that the magic happens. To foster a learning mindset, we need to encourage continuous learning. And I'm not just talking about the standard workshops and training programs. This is about creating an environment where asking questions isn't just okay, it's celebrated. It's about sparking curiosity in your team, inspiring them to explore what they don't know, and turning that into innovative solutions. Think of your team as a garden where each question and insight is a seed. If you water those seeds with curiosity and opportunity, you'll grow a forest of possibilities. But let's get real for a moment. Learning isn't always sunshine and rainbows. There are failures. Oh, yes, there are failures. But here's the kicker: failure is the greatest teacher. I know, it sounds cliche, but it's true. When we emphasize learning from failures, we're not just helping teams recover from setbacks, we're turning those setbacks into springboards for growth. Imagine if every misstep became a lesson, every roadblock became a challenge to overcome. That's where resilience is born. And resilience? That's the secret sauce for long-term success. Then there's knowledge sharing. Let me tell you, the more your team shares what they know, the stronger your organization becomes. Think of it as crowdsourcing brilliance. When one person learns, they lift the entire team. It's not just about individual growth, it's about creating a collective knowledge base that everyone can draw from. So set up those forums, create those spaces for dialogue, and watch the magic happen. Now, here's the big one: building a culture of adaptability. It's not enough to learn. We need to pivot, adjust, and grow in response to what we've learned. Think of it like driving a high-performance car. Each twist and turn of the road teaches you something new about how to handle the next one. You don't just get better at driving, you get better at anticipating, adapting, and conquering. So here's my challenge to you. What are you doing to foster a learning mindset in your team? Are you encouraging questions? Are you celebrating curiosity? Are you reframing failures as opportunities? Because when you emphasize a learning mindset, you're not just preparing for the future, you're creating it. And trust me, there's no greater return on investment than that. All right, folks, here we are, the final slide. And what better way to wrap up than by looking ahead at the future of AI flexibility? This is where we chart our course into the unknown, where the possibilities are limitless. No pressure, right? Let's dive in. You're standing at the helm of a ship, staring out at the open sea. The waters ahead are uncharted, but your ship your organization is equipped with the latest AI tools and a crew ready to adapt to the winds of change. This isn't just any voyage, it's a journey into the future of AI adaptability. Now, the first step on this journey is embracing emerging technologies. Think of these as the maps and compasses of your expedition. Whether it's generative AI, predictive analytics, or autonomous decision-making systems, these technologies are reshaping industries faster than we can say machine learning. But here's the key. It's not just about jumping on every new trend. It's about thoughtfully adopting the tools that will actually drive value for your organization. The second step, balancing innovation with practicality. Sure, the shiny new AI tools are exciting. Who doesn't love a bit of tech magic? But the real challenge is making sure these innovations solve real-world problems. Think of it like building a bridge. The design might look futuristic, but if it doesn't connect two important points or stand the test of time, it's just art. Balancing creativity with utility is the name of the game. Now, let's bring this back to you. The future of AI isn't just about machines, it's about humans working with machines. It's about fostering a mindset where curiosity meets action, where adaptability isn't a buzzword, but a way of life. And yes, this future isn't just for big corporations. Whether you're running a small team or a global enterprise, these principles apply to everyone. And as you step into this future, I want to leave you with an invitation. If you're inspired by this journey, let's connect. Follow Data and Analytics on LinkedIn. Check out the Data Science Show for live webinars. And here's the kicker. You can become a sponsor or even a speaker. That's right, your voice, your story could be the one inspiring the next wave of AI explorers. So, as we sail off into this AI horizon, let me ask you, what will you build? How will you adapt? Because the future isn't just something we enter, it's something we shape. And I, for one, can't wait to see what you create. Let's go make some waves. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button.